conference game.
And welcome inside the home office, everyone. I'm Craig D'Amico, and this is a special NEC Football on the Run watch along. Today we will be watching along one of the most anticipated games that we circled on the calendar once the league schedule came out back in the spring. From a root field in New Britain, Connecticut. It's the first Saturday in November. It's the 3-5, 1-2 LIU Sharks and the 5-3, 3-0 reigning and defending NEC champion Central Connecticut State Blue Devils. It's week 10 of NEC football, and glad to be along with us on YouTube here to watch it along as the wind blows the ball off the tee as they were set to let things fly. LIU, they won the opening coin toss. They deferred to the second half, so Central will be on offense here first. This is a big rematch. We're watching it with you here on YouTube. Think of this as an alternative commentary stream. You have Thursday Night Football with Alan Kirk, the main booth, and then you have the Spanish announcers. You have Dude Perfect. You have the Prime Vision cast. So this is just an alternative way to watch this big game here with us here on this first Saturday of November. If you're looking for the full broadcast with the Central Connecticut State announcers, you could check that out over on NEC Front Row. In fact, the link is in the description, so feel free to watch the full broadcast over on NEC Front Row. But meanwhile, we're hanging out here, and we're going to be watching this one. Somewhere, a game, like I said, that's been pretty anticipated considering with what happened a year ago. Central Connecticut State, they won the league title. They were the FCS team to represent the league in the FCS playoffs last year, but they only suffered one blemish on their record along the way, and that was at the time a stunning 24-21 loss at LIU in a nationally televised ESPN Plus game last October. And it was a pretty interesting way on how they developed in that game because there were no turnovers in the game, so you can't really blame turnovers. Central actually converted on third down at a higher rate than LIU did. Central controlled the time of possession. The run game, which LIU, when LIU is running on all cylinders, it's usually because LIU is dominating the run game. Run game was pretty even. It was 148 to 134. So in a game in which Central either led all the key factors or was even with LIU in all the key factors, they lost. And it was just because LIU made the big plays late. Lucas Stanzani had a game-winning 26-yard touchdown pass to Ethan Greenwood in the middle of the fourth quarter. Held on to victory. Central had one last drive. They turned it over on downs. Couldn't quite get it into field goal range on a 4th and 4. They got 3, so they were a yard short of keeping the rally going, and they fell by 3. And at the time, LIU really hadn't done anything. That was the spark that kind of had LIU going for one of their trademark late season runs that they're hoping to continue here this year and today. And for Central, it was a loss where it's like, oh, what are we going to expect from Central? They were picked last in the preseason poll a year ago, remember. So not many people thought that much of Central at the time. They were 1-1 in conference play after that loss. Little did we know they'd go and run the rest of the table, beat Robert Morris, beat Duquesne, and then go on to the FCS playoffs. So this is a rematch. This time they're meeting in Connecticut, and it'll be interesting to see how they match up here. One factor that Central has in their favor today, they did not have Elijah Howard a year ago. He was out for that game. He is in the lineup here today. For LIU, they did have Ethan Greenwood a year ago. Not quite sure that they'll have him here today. So a little bit of a maybe shift in the star power dynamic in this one as Central gains a star and LIU perhaps loses a star from last year. But Central not able to do anything on their initial drive. Now we'll see the Sharks here on their first series. LIU coming off a big 38-16 win last week against New Haven. They put up over 400 yards of offense. Lucas Stanzani ran wild, 4 rushing touchdowns, had a passing touchdown. LIU got up 14-0. New Haven rolled off 16 unanswered points, and then LIU scored the final 24. So let's see how LIU answers here in this game. They start with Stanzani in the shotgun. A little bit of an option to the 30-yard line. Jack Stoll, the Central leading tackler there on the play. So for LIU, they are led by Court Shankweiler and John Roberts, the co-offensive coordinators. And one thing we saw last week in that New Haven game, they started to go up-tempo. And Coach Cooper was talking about how that was something they saw in the lead-up to that game on tape. It was hurry up for sure. kind of something that they saw that, hey, we could take advantage of that by going up-tempo a little bit more, and they did to their advantage, and it certainly works out. And it looks like they're starting with that up-tempo no-huddle here. But that's the one thing, as you see a penalty flag down. Coach Cooper said, when you go up-tempo and you're not used to going up-tempo for the majority of the season, you're going to get penalties. They had 12 penalties last week, and here you go.
5 men in the backfield on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Replay first down.
Well, Coach Cooper foretelling his own fate right there, because that's exactly what he said last week with the 12 penalties. He's like, yeah, when we're going up tempo, it's a lot of not getting guys set, guys getting in the wrong formation, especially with the young team, offensive line jumbled around. Guys in different positions, guys getting extended time that aren't used to playing that. I mean, you're going to get those penalties. They got them last week, and they had one on the opening series here. So set back behind the sticks. The LIU Sharks, they are the number 5 total offense in the NEC right now. They average about 287 yards per game, but their bread and butter is running the football. 164 yards per game on the ground. If LIU is rolling on all cylinders, you will see them running the football, getting big chunks of yardage. They are not a team that's going to beat you passing, at least in their current situation. They're going to look to pass here, and down goes Stanzani. So there you go. The second and forever becomes third and a gajillion right now.
The Blue Devil leader, that's 5.
The Central Connecticut State defense, they're currently ranked 5th, but they are second against the run. So that's going to be a matchup to watch. The number 2 rush offense versus the number 2 rush defense. Central only gives up 129 yards per game, and that is their 19th sack of the season. A year ago, they had, I believe, 37 sacks to lead the NEC. So they've certainly picked it up. They had 10 sacks over their last 3 games and a big sack on a second down here.
Pass is complete for
LIU with a little screen pass getting out to the far side. Central all over it, so both teams going to come up short on their first series here. Opening minutes of the first quarter. Glad to have everyone along with us. Again, this is a watch along here on YouTube. Second one we've done. First one left me without a voice for a week, so we'll see how this one goes. Chatting with everybody for 3 hours. But this is a watch-along version of our NEC Football on the Run podcast, which you can check out on Fridays, wherever you get your podcast, the NEC Overtime Pod. If you're looking for the main stream for this game, it's over on NEC Front Row. Link is in the description, so you can check that out with the Central Connecticut broadcasters on their home broadcast. And another false start penalty. LIU going in the wrong direction to start this game.
Yeah, with the win today, I think it's doubled. I think it's an advantage.
At stake here, Central Connecticut State looking to get to 4-0 in conference play for the first time since 2019 when they ran the table and won it all in the NEC. For LIU, they're trying to even their conference record at 2-2 and keep their championship hopes alive.
Oh, this time he goes sideways. Rugby style.
Will Lynch, one of the best punters in the league.
Goes out of bounds at the 10.
And this is going to pin Central deep in their own territory. So well done. It's going to be a battle of field position. Can LIU, the number 2 rush offense, run the football? Can the Central number 2 rush defense stop them? Make LIU throw, which is not quite what they want to do. And for Central, if they're forced to throw, we know Elijah Howard is back, but not quite 100%, still bothered by a little bit of a foot injury, nagging injury. Central certainly had the week off last week to rest it up. Central does have a little bit of a banged-up offensive line. They lost Xander McCoy, I believe, in the Wagner game. But Isaiah Deloach, number 74, he missed a couple weeks. He is back here today, a preseason all-conference selection for Central Connecticut State.
At games here at a root field.
The Central Connecticut State offense led by Caleb Gelsomino in his 3rd year as the offensive coordinator. Taekwon Hammock, 2nd year as the LIU DC. The Central offense, 3rd overall, 340 yards per game. Number 3 pass, number 5 run, number 3 scoring. They average 26 points per game.
And we get movement up front.
LIU on the defensive side, very underrated. Not many people are talking about the fact that LIU is the number 2 rush defense the number 2 overall defense, I should say, in the Northeast Conference. Against the run, they're number 1. They only give up 125 yards per game. So can Howard gain any traction here against the number 1 rush defense?
Offside. Number 90 of the defense.
90.
That 5-yard
Gardner
penalty
Jr.
will result in a first down.
It's a 5-yard penalty.
So Central able to
a first
draw
down.
LIU
That's
offside. So
already
those
the,
penalties are
fourth
starting to
penalty.
pick up for LIU already.
And the Blue Devils.
And Central certainly trying to take advantage of it here on their first offensive or their second offensive possession of the day. Ooh.
We got a ball that came out on the field. Little practice long snapper lost.
He got
High
caught in the
snap, but
wind.
it looks like there was a whistle beforehand and errant football on the
5
field
yards to give the
apparently.
Rebels a first down. Get
Don't
after
know.
that 60
You never
yard
know what
punt.
you're going to see. NEC
Drive
football.
started at about the 8-yard line.
Okay. Remember, this drive
Elijah Howard
started
to the
thanks
right
to that punt by Lynch
of
with
Olsen, who
Central
barks out
backed
the
up
signals.
right at their own
Fakes the
10.
handoff, going to try to go over the middle. It's tipped
Oh,
up
good
in the air.
deflection.
And
That was
almost picked
dangerous
off.
right up the middle, and it nearly got intercepted.
Ball got deflected at the line of scrimmage.
That LIU front 4, they could certainly get pressure without
Marcus
blitzing.
actually got a
They're
hand on it
tall.
as
They can
well.
get their
Yeah,
hands up, and
He had
we
good
saw right
position.
there
He
the
kinda blocked
deflection
out the
had it up
DB
for grabs
to keep
right
it
in
from
the center of the field. That was dangerous territory.
getting picked.
Look, Brady Olson, the
it's up there
quarterback
in the air
for
for so
Central
long, it
Connecticut, he's a
seems.
vet. He's a veteran. He doesn't turn the ball over. Until the last game we
Howard
saw,
down to
he
the
had
left
2
of Olsen on a
turnovers in
second
that
down and
game.
10
Central
after
had
the
3
incomplete
overall
pass.
as a team.
Olsen steps into the
Olsen
pocket,
had
has
only
his
turned
tight
the
end at
ball
the
over on an
25-yard
interception
line.
once all season to that point. So
Pass is hauled in by Peter
one
Cleary of the
interception
Blue
all
Devils.
season, 2 in the last game. Now, Central did have a bye week last week, and they did win the bye
Cleary
week.
fifth on the
Because
team in
Wagner beat
receptions. That's
Duquesne,
his
Central
15th
took
of
over
the year
sole possession of first
for
place
Cleary.
from the comfort of their own living
Averaging
room. So they were
paltry
doing what we're doing. They were, a week
24.3
ago,
yards per catch.
this was what
6-yard
Central was
gain
doing.
there.
They were sitting and hanging out watching
third
football,
down
and
and
they
4
ended up
with
at the end of the day in
9.5
first
remaining in the
place
first quarter.
because Wagner certainly helped them out. But the
Devils
week
going into the
before,
win.
Central got all they could
Olsen.
handle from Wagner.
Over
They
the
were
middle.
really upset
Ooh.
by Wagner.
Ball was
They trailed 14-0 in that
dropped
game. They had
by
to come
Marsh,
from
and then
behind and
he
then
was
eventually
tagged.
outlast the Seahawks in
He had
overtime.
initially
So
dropped the ball, but a nice job by Trey Watkins.
which type of Central
defensive
Connecticut
back
State
from
team
Rahway,
are we
New
going to
Jersey.
see today coming off of
Yeah,
their
big-time hit
bye
coming
week?
across the middle. Good to have Paul Marsh back as well.
We're seeing maybe a little bit of a rusty offense here, not
Throughout
quite
his
in
Blue Devil
sync.
career, he's
Olsen
dealt
led
with
his receiver right up the middle of the
back,
field
and
and
he
took a
just
little
wallop.
pop at the end of that play.
Watkins, the reigning NEC Player of the Week. There's a low one. And
You know, we'll talk about this later on in the
Into the
game,
wind.
but do want to give a shout out to the Central
Bonini
Connecticut
was
State
trying to keep it low.
special teams. Their
down to
punters
around
coming
the
off,
39-yard line,
you
so
know, an
decent
all
field
NEC
position
recognition week.
for
Their
Stanzani
kicker
and
had to
the
replace an
LIU
all NEC
Sharks.
kicker, and
Haven't called
he's
him
been doing
Blackbird yet,
fantastic.
but,
So all
you know,
credit
it's that-
to Central Connecticut State, their special
difficult to
teams
do when,
coaches,
you're wearing
for reloading this special teams
white and
unit, which
blue.
They don't
usually
look
is
like
kind of underrated.
old
People think
LIU
offense,
at all.
defense, but
Of course,
the
they never
third
did
leg
play- they never did play
of football,
That's right.
special teams, certainly not forgotten. Central Connecticut State in the past has excelled at that, and even though they had to replace a
Stanzani
bunch
in
of
the
punts
shotgun,
this
but
year,
they snap it
it
to
looks like they're
the running back that
heading in
time,
that
or Ethan
direction,
Greenwood,
special on
actually.
special
Well, it was
teams once again.
attempted
LIU,
handoff
we know
for
they have
Greenwood.
interesting
Didn't want it.
offense,
He
a lot
didn't.
of
It was a
different play calls. Looked like
miscommunication
they
on the
tried to
play.
get fancy right there, and they're
Stanzani's
lucky to
Stanzani's to the
maintain
left of
possession. Their
Greenwood.
quarterback fell on top of the football.
And they fake the handoff to Stanzani. And Greenwood slides for about 8 yards.
How about that? Ethan Greenwood is back. There he is, number 14. Okay.
And he's listed third on the
When
depth
he
chart.
is healthy, and
he'll
he
play
hasn't been
quarterback as
since
well.
really the Eastern Michigan game. He came back
a
for
wide
one
receiver.
game,
Now they're flip-flopping.
and
Now Greenwood
I don't
to
know,
the
got
right
re-injured, but
of
wasn't
Stanzani.
100%. So
On a third
he's
down
missed
and
the
4.
last couple of weeks, and it looks like
Stanzani
he's
puts it
back.
up,
And
and
we
it's
know,
hauled in.
talking with Coach
Right at
Cooper
midfield.
a couple weeks ago,
And it's good enough for a first
LIU's
down.
offense, they want to get both quarterbacks on the
Yeah,
field at the
Richardson
same time. That's one thing that they
missed 20
recognized in the
catches.
offseason. That, and we'll talk about the
that his
LIU quarterback
21st.
saga
Look at
over the
this
last couple
tempo.
years to lead to this
Yeah, not giving
I guess,
it
good problem to have, where they have 3 quarterbacks that they're very comfortable in, the
Greenwood.
top 2 in particular, and they like to
Stanzani, who
design
then throws
this
it
type of offense, get
to
2 quarterbacks on the
Richardson.
field, have them
About
hand
3
off
yards.
each other,
There's a
create
lot going on there.
problems for the
Actually, that was
defense, have
Jaden
them have to
Dozier
think
who
about
made
it.
the catch.
And it looks like LIU is just trying to befuddle Central with this multi-quarterback system once again, trying to pick up where they left off.
And you're seeing,
really
you know,
back in that
wild
Eastern
stuff
Michigan game. They haven't really, the offense that they had
Sharks.
planned all summer for, they really haven't been able to use since week 2. So they're trying to dust off the playbook a little
Ross
bit
Jr.
here.
is in the game now at running back.
OJ Rossi was
Stanzani
our
fakes
guest
the
on
handoff to him and
the podcast this
completes
week.
the
You'll see that
pass.
interview coming up at halftime.
And a flag goes down.
That's one of those where you
And
almost,
there's
if you're a
that tempo of
receiver, you
LIU.
don't
Evan
want to catch it
Brooks
because you're
made the
5 yards
reception on
behind
the
the line
near
of
side.
scrimmage, and there's 3
Yeah, but
blue shirts
Taylor
coming at
nearly
you, so
got
you're going to be
to
tackled for
Stanzani
a
in
loss.
time, just
So to preserve the yardage, you might want to.
him at the
It's
end.
probably a better idea to drop that pass. And we'll check the flag here.
And already, we mentioned LIU. I think that's their 5th penalty.
Yeah, it's going to be
If it does go on them.
Fifth penalty. They had
according
12
to
last
the
week.
Devils.
Well, we're
Thompson
still
is saying it's against LIU.
a couple minutes in this
Do
game.
you argue with him?
Yeah, it was my thought exactly, Bruce. As we finish each other's thoughts, Jimmy King wrote that great article on you and CJ.
Jimmy Clark, Jimmy King.
Jimmy Clark.
Coach Adam
I
Lechtenberg
think you were
led the
thinking
Blue
about the guard
Devils
for Michigan.
to the NEC
Jimmy King.
championship last year, trying to
Here's the
get a
call.
repeat performance here in 2025.
Illegal touching. Number 18 in the offense. That penalty has been declined. The result of the play is a 3rd down.
The Blue Devils declined the penalty.
So that's an interesting call. You don't want to give LIU, especially if they're going to use the 2 quarterbacks that could be explosive. Haven't
Devils
seen it in a while.
5.13
You don't want to give them an
penalties
extra
a game,
play.
41
So it's
total.
3rd and long.
That's
Keep
the
it 3rd and
lowest
long
number
here.
in the league.
Right, 24th and 27th national.
Further evidence why if you were the receiver there, you want to drop that pass because then maybe Central would have accepted that penalty.
Stanzani in the shotgun. Looking right, now slings it a little sidearm pass.
Boy, were the Devils ready for
So
that.
again,
Jack Stoll just
there's
waited
Jack Stoll, number
for
1.
the
So again,
receiver
That was
to make the catch.
you're
Sean
throwing right
Ross
up the middle
Jr.
for 3
out
yards.
of
You
the
need to get to
backfield.
14. There's
And the
3
Blue
blue
Devil
shirts
defense
on
does a
top of
great
your
job.
back.
Let's see.
I don't know that you want to catch the what are you?
If they can
You're
get
not
decent
going
field
to.
position here, they're
What are
gonna
you going
send
to
2
accomplish by catching that
players back
football?
now.
There's nothing to accomplish right there. So 1, play design going further
Wadley
downfield.
is back
2,
along
if you're
with
stuck
Chris
with that,
Jean,
why are
who
you
we
catching it?
saw early in the year, but
Yeah, they're
another
I think
flag.
And another flag.
procedure against LIU. One of the gunners. To
A
the
stirring
near
start
side here.
by the officials here to start.
False start. Number 15 in the offense. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Yet
By the way, the
another
Central
penalty
defensive coordinator Ron
on
DeGravio,
the Sharks.
been there for a while. The Central defensive unit, especially these last couple weeks that Central's been in the heart of conference play. Even going back to their overtime game against Sacred Heart, on paper doesn't look like a great defensive performance just because of all the yards and points they
Lynch,
gave up. But
low.
sacks,
Wadley lets it
turnovers,
bounce, and
pressure,
Jean
they're
picks
picking
it
up right where they left
and
off
wow.
last year. In those regards,
Special
especially over the
teams
last
have
couple
been
weeks.
huge
Once again,
for LIU.
Lynch
but
coming
yet
up
another
huge.
flag
He's going to
goes
pin
down
Central
back at the
deep in their own
15-yard
territory.
What
And
was that flag?
what do you know? Another penalty
Been the
flag.
leading block.
Who would have ever guessed?
But how about that?
At this rate, the
low
officials
line
should just
drive
leave the
kick,
flag on the
big
field
bounce.
because it's going to be there anyway, so they
pelota.
might as well just leave it there.
Oh,
And then Gene did a nice job hauling it in, but then the Sharks were all over him.
talking about highlight.
During the return, blocking the back.
Yep, blocking the
Number
back.
39 of the receiving team. Penalty will be assessed half the
Half
distance.
the distance, yep.
1st down.
All right, so 1 on Central
Devils
this
gonna
time.
start
They're going
inside
to
the
get
10-yard
even
line
further
again,
pinned
Mark.
back in their own territory.
Yeah,
As you know,
and
we
twice they
have a
forced
battle of
punts,
field position
the
here.
5-yard penalty.
LIU has been the
have,
thorn in
they've
Central's
been
side. We mentioned
critical.
last
Who
year,
knows
but
how
LIU
they
has
will
actually won the
get
last
into the
4 meetings
end zone.
against
They
Central Connecticut
back them
State.
up
So
by, but you
they've been the kryptonite for the Blue Devils before Coach Lechtenberg even got there. And right now, LIU
Yeah,
Inside the
appears,
5.
half of a quarter
Going
into
into
this
the
one,
wind.
appears to be right up for the challenge again here on the road to
Gotta
kick
get the
off
Bob
November
Seeger offense going.
in New Britain, Connecticut.
Sharks coming
All
off
right,
a
so
38-16 victory
We
over New
started
Haven.
this out last time, our first ever
home.
live stream here on YouTube, and it's back again,
Preceded by a
where we
17-7
put on a
win
little
over Robert
cooking
Morris.
demonstration for you. We want to try to do a cooking demonstration from
Howard trying to find
a
the edge,
food
and
or a
he's
dish
thrown out of
representing
bounds.
the home team. Last time we were in
After
Erie,
about a
Pennsylvania,
4-yard
so we
gain
did
for
pepperoni
Elijah
balls,
Howard.
which apparently is a specialty in Erie,
110th
Pennsylvania. Delicious.
on
It
the
was
ground
great.
this year, and he missed.
Heard from a lot of people they made their own
Game and a
pepperoni
half.
balls. Delicious. Great. So we were thinking, okay, New Britain, Connecticut. If you did your research, the signature dish of the central
Sharks played in
Connecticut
front of almost
area
90,000
are
people
steamed
in their
hamburgers,
opener
steamed cheeseburgers,
versus
steamed
Florida.
not the Simpsons
55-0
steamed hams.
loss.
It's actual steamed
Here's
meat,
Howard
steamed
again.
burgers.
And Elijah
So,
fighting for
two
yardage.
things. One,
About a
Connecticut.
2 or
I'm
3
sure
yard
steamed
gain.
hams are delicious.
And a helmet
I'm
goes
more of a grilled,
flying
like
off
put
of a
my
Blue Devil.
beef on the grill. So I'm not making any steamed
So,
hams.
yeah, Eric
And
Nunez,
second,
senior
a
from
problem I have that many
Falls,
of
New
you
York.
might have out there. I got a
Nice
lot of
golf course
leftover
up there,
Halloween
Sleepy
candy.
Hollow.
Where I live,
Right? No,
I-
not in
I
Wappinger Falls.
get like maybe one trick or treater. So you buy the big, you
There
buy
are
the,
some nice
the
golf
Halloween
courses
candy.
up
You have
there.
all this leftover. Like,
What,
well,
you work for the
I'm gonna
chamber
eat
up
it all. Really? Like, come on.
3-yard pickup
I definitely don't
and
need
third
that.
down
So,
and 3.
we're gonna show you coming up after this Central Series a little snack,
Marcus
a little
is in the
game day
game.
snack you
Fake the
can
handoff
make
to him.
using some
Brody
of
Olsen gets a block,
the
has
leftover
the first
Halloween
down, and
candy
dives
that you
forward
might have. So
outside the
gather all
20-yard line.
your leftover candy from last
The
night, and
nimble
we'll
Brady
show you
Olsen.
our dish
Smart
coming up
read,
after this drive as Central
fakes the
extends it
handoff.
by picking up a first down here. Yeah, I'm in an issue here where, first of all, I don't get a lot of trick-or-treaters, and second of all, I'm not a
Third on
fun
the team in
size.
rushing, Brady
I
Olsen
don't know
has a
where they
couple of
get. I
touchdown
mean,
runs
me
as
getting
well.
a quarter of the normal candy is not fun. That's like
No
a
breathing
tragedy.
room for the Blue Devils now on
fun
1st and
size
10.
is actually getting like the normal size
Olsen
candy
hands
bars.
it
So
off.
I go out and I buy the normal size candy
Tough
bars,
yardage.
and I only get one trick or treater.
Still on his
And
feet
I do
is
that because the
Marcus.
year that I
Comes out of
don't,
the pile.
that'll be the year
Forward
I get like
progress
20 trick or
gives him
treaters.
about
So
a yard gain.
every year I do it. Every year I'm left with all this candy.
And you
We'll
see-
show you a nice little game day snack that you can make with some of your
Marcus
leftover
averaging 2.6
Halloween
yards
treats
per carry.
coming up here
60th rush on the year.
after
has
this
3
series.
touchdown runs.
James Delva back in.
We got two great running backs here in this game. Elijah Howard, obviously the reigning offensive player of the year for Central Connecticut State, and then O.J. Ross for
Marcus
LIU
remains
on the
in the
other
game for
side.
the Blue Devils on
Which
a
now that the two quarterbacks
second
are
down
back
and
for LIU,
9.
you hope Ross doesn't get lost in the shuffle because
Olsen.
as he's been
Handoff.
physical,
Marcus cuts it
running the
back up the
football,
middle.
especially over the
Solid
last couple
run
of weeks,
for
that's when
Donovan
LIU's been
Marcus
in
out
his
to the
best. So you hope they don't
35-yard
like
line and
out
another
fancy
Blue Devil
themselves by
first
running
down.
all this stuff with their
Working
two
on the left
quarterbacks. Like,
side, a great cutback.
make sure Ross
Donnie
gets a couple
Marcus.
touches here.
Look at the vision.
Ross and Howard
the
are
hole
two of the
opening up,
4
and then
backs
cuts
that are
it
kind
back
of like in a
in.
log jam right
Once he
now
sees the
for the
linebacker
NEC
trying to
rushing title
fill.
with just
Joe
3
Crafasi
weeks
comes
left of
into
the
the
regular
game, number
season after
18.
today, by the way. 4 weeks from today, one
the
of
Blue Devils.
maybe Central, who knows,
Also
maybe
Damani
LIU, maybe
Williams.
Duquesne,
He's
Stonehill.
at the bottom of the screen
One of
with
these
Paul
NEC
Marsh.
teams will be playing in the FCS playoffs
Elijah Howard
the
spins out of a tackle.
weekend after Thanksgiving.
And what would have been a loss of about 4 yards is only a loss of 1. Solid job by the Sharks that time.
Elijah Howard, 4th all-time in Central Connecticut State history
Loss of 1.
in
Wadley goes
rushing yards. He has 560, 70 or so, 6 rushing touchdowns,
Wadley and
3
Williams. Now
receiving
Williams goes in
touchdowns. He has
motion.
at least 1 touchdown in
Olsen
every game so
hands it
far
off
this
again.
season that
Howard
he's played in for Central Connecticut State. He missed one
bulldozing
game
his way out
due to injury, but
past
he's
the
either
40-yard
caught
line and
or
a
ran
flag
for
on
a
the far side
touchdown
of
in
the
every
field.
single game this year. He had back-to-back 100-yard
35-yard
games
line.
against Sacred Heart and
2:48
Robert
left,
Morris, and
no
then
score.
only ran
And I
for
think
90
Blue Devils
yards
trying to
last week.
establish
So
a run
Elijah
at least
Howard is really
into this
putting
win.
it together here
They're
late
moving
in the
right to
season.
left.
Offside. Number 40, the defense, lining up in the
So
neutral
another
zone.
penalty on
Right on
LIU.
penalty. Second down.
Rodney Mills, the defensive
LIU
lineman
just
for LIU, called for the
really killing
offside
his
there.
effort with
So
these
this drive, because of a central penalty,
Up a second
following
down
a
and 6
really good
now
punt,
as they move the
started
ball
way back in their
out to
own
the
end, and they've
39-yard line.
done some damage here. They've brought it back out to midfield.
4 wide receivers in the game. Howard to the right of Olsen. Handoff Howard. Shuffles
Howard's
his way
just trying to
for about a yard.
he's just trying to run through guys at this point. Central Connecticut State,
Giovarelli comes in.
again, they rushed for
Blue Devils.
124 yards per
Williams
game,
out.
and they're going up against the #1 rush
And he lines up
defense
in the slot,
in the
Giovarelli.
Northeast Conference in the LIU Sharks.
Wadley one-on-one.
Sharks only
at
give
the
up
top of
about
the screen
23 points per
with
game, which
Braylon
is number
Vincent.
1 in the
See
league.
if they go to that matchup. Olsen trying to set up a screen, but the Sharks are all over
Central
it.
trying a little misdirection right
Exactly
there.
what
They
the
sent
Sharks do.
the
Yeah.
back in motion,
They
trying to
did.
draw some
Peter
attention
Cleary
to
made
him.
the second catch of
Olsen
the
started
game.
by looking
It'll
to
bring
his
up
back
another
and then
punt for the Blue Devils. Their
put it up
third.
the middle. for a gain of
the
maybe
first
4 yards.
5 punts.
Yes.
So again, they get
So
it
far
out to
here in the first
midfield. They
quarter.
did some damage with the field
Well,
position, trying to
defenses
flip
have
that
controlled
around,
the
but
line of
another
scrimmage.
4th down,
Difficult
and
to
they'll be
run
forced to punt it
on
away.
both sides. The option has worked a little bit for LIU, and the Blue Devils have had a couple of, small chunk plays from the backs.
Felix Matos is deep, and he drifts back and fields it at the 20-yard line. But a great play.
So Central
the Blue
Connecticut
Devils
right now
special
1
teams,
for 4
Chris
on
Jean.
3rd down
What an
conversions.
outstanding
LIU just
play
1 for
by
3.
Chris Jean, and his ability to
With
tackle,
just about a minute
along
and
with his
change remaining here in this
ball
first
hawking
quarter.
skills, of course, with his 4 interceptions this year and career high active.
Yeah, we love Chris Jean. He's been a guest on our NEC Football on the Run podcast twice. One last year, one this year. Hope to have him back again. He is a fascinating
LIU
individual.
back to it.
All right,
Stanzani,
so
the
let's get
quarterback.
to our treat
running
here. We
back
hope
is O'Shawn
everyone
Ross
got their
Jr.
Halloween
behind him.
candy ready. So
He lines up to the right.
just like with the pepperoni
you
balls,
never know who they're going to snap
you're
it
gonna need your whatever pizza dough recipe that you have, or
hands
you
it
could
off
buy
to
pizza dough
Ross
from your
Jr.
local supermarket. You could use a ready-made pizza crust, or like I like to use naan bread, so I have naan bread here. Put it in the toaster, the oven, make it little crisp, little crispy, so just like authentic pizza crust. But whatever pizza crust
at
you
the bottom of the
use,
screen.
it's perfect.
End up with
All
instead
right.
They hand it off again.
Now you're gonna need
Ross
your
Jr.
favorite type of chocolate spread. So I
He's the
got
leading
my
rusher
chocolate spread right here,
for
and then
the
to
Sharks, averaging close to 6
represent
yards per game.
the tomato sauce,
died
we're gonna
down, but it
use
looks like
some
LIU's
chocolate
just
spread
trying to,
sauce. So we're going to
play win
spread very
field position,
generously
trying to get through
the
first
chocolate
quarter
sauce,
to get to the
the
second
chocolate
to
spread
win.
on top of our
He had
pizza
17
crust.
carries last week.
Oh, smells
Ross
good. You
did.
can smell that chocolate.
172 yards.
Again, we
No
are
touchdowns, though.
getting rid of all our extra
on here.
Halloween candy, a simple
the
game day
Winds are back.
snack, game day
One more
recipe
play
that you
here
can
in the
use
first
with all
quarter
that
for the
leftover
Sharks.
Halloween
Over the
candy
middle,
that
it's
you have
broken up.
as you're watching the Sharks and the Blue Devils here
And we get
with
a
us
late
on this
flag.
watch along.
Is that going to be unsportsmanlike, or is that a pass
Oh, well,
interference?
it did come in. You're right. It
All
did
right,
come
so
in
there we
kinda
go.
late.
Chocolate spread generously
Davis Preston,
all
the graduate
over.
student from Martinsville, Virginia, Charleston.
There we go. All over our pizza
Pass
crust.
interference. Number 19 of the defense.
Oh, well.
15-yard
Okay.
penalty.
All right.
First down.
It goes
So
on to
now we
Von
got all our
Mitchell.
Halloween candy, and these are going to be the toppings of our Halloween candy pizza here. So we got,
15-yard penalty,
again,
a
fun
first
size
down.
M&Ms. Not
LIU
really
can
fun
run
when you
one
have
more
like a
play
quarter
here in
of
the first
the
quarter.
M&Ms that a regular bag gets you. But take your M&Ms and spread it across the Halloween
Established that
candy
running game.
leftover pizza.
Stanzani.
All right, so this is what I was talking about. We don't have fun size. We got
to pass.
normal size chocolate
Keep the
bars.
clock
So
moving, and that'll
take your
end
normal size
first quarter.
chocolate bars.
No score. They'll switch sides. They won't have to
Break
move
this
too
apart.
Much. Sharks and the Blue Devils.
We'll continue to
Scoreless
decorate our
after
pizza
one.
with
Take a break.
toppings here
Blue
at the
Devil
end of the
football,
first
NEC
quarter.
front
We'll
row
come
and
back with
on
the
the run
second
out.
quarter. Right after this, you're watching a watch along NEC Football on the Run. Stay with us.
This is awesome, bro. This is what the Devils thrive in.
Lily, say hi to the camera.
The LIU Sharks are champions.
Central Connecticut, they win the NEC. There is Paquette, and she somehow beat the shot clock with a scoop. Oh, what a move by Malachi Davis. The Seahawks' first ever NEC Women's Indoor Crown. And the goal for the NEC regular season title. It's Lemoyne.
LIU has done it. Back-to-back championships.
The Cougars have won the NEC championship.
With FDU Knights. Absolutely perfect.
Blue Devils and the Sharks.
All right, we
scoreless
welcome
after
you
one.
back.
We touched
We're
on it
getting ready to
briefly,
start
Mark.
the second quarter at a
Blue
root
Devils won
field
their
in New
third
Britain,
consecutive
Connecticut.
NEC
As Central
men's
Connecticut State
cross-country
takes on
championship
LIU. You're watching
in
a watch along
Pennsylvania
NEC
this morning.
Football on the Run watch along here on
Mark
YouTube. I'm Craig
Rodriguez.
D'Amico
Mark with a
from the
C,
home
too, by the
office.
way.
We're in
Won
the
the
middle.
individual
They're
championship
scoreless
for the Blue Devils.
in New Britain right now.
Aiden
LIU
Budge
and
in
Central.
second place,
We're in the middle of
13th
making
overall. an NEC
little
championship
Halloween
for the men's
candy leftover
cross-country team.
pizza here. We
Congratulations
took
to
pizza
you,
dough,
Ben.
put your chocolate spread on top of it. We
Eric
put
doesn't
some
have enough
M&Ms. We
fingers.
got some
You're gonna have
Hershey
to
bars. Now we're
put your
doing
rings
the
on
Reese's
your
peanut
toes.
butter cups.
Yeah.
Everybody has the Reese's peanut butter cups. So just, break the pizza, break them apart, right?
Phenomenal
You can
story.
get some
Yeah, I mean, just
What the night?
Reese's
guys you'll
little
ever meet.
pieces there.
yes.
Reese's Pieces, that should be a
Unassuming.
thing, right?
And he probably
We
could
have
still run
some
track,
some
too.
some fruit
Here,
snacks,
Central.
strawberry, right? Strawberry. Want to be healthy, right? Healthy. So we're gonna add some
Second
fruit
and
to
10,
it.
as
Little
they
fruit
switch sides
flavor.
now.
Put on some
LIU going into the wind
fruit snacks. You get
That's
some
Greenwood.
strawberry.
at the quarterback position.
Might need another packet of strawberry, so we'll get some more strawberry. Again, you can never be too healthy. Got to have
Lateral
your
pursuit by
your
the
strawberry
Devils.
out there.
Third and long for LIU.
Right. Okay. Again, great way to get rid of all of your
They're down-
extra
throwing
Halloween
a big
candy. So we got
receiver,
some
Jerron
Hershey's, we
Kelly,
got
the
some
tight end.
Reese's peanut butter
6'7",
cups.
259.
Again, you could decorate whatever leftover candy that you have can go on here as
From
well.
Cincinnati,
As
Ohio.
we're sitting back and enjoying this
Ashland
LIU
transfer.
Central
He's
game
number
that's so far
7.
seen a lot of penalties, a lot of
Third
stop
down
third
and
downs,
call
no
it
points
7
going across, but we've seen some
for the Sharks.
big returns. Central got a
Danzani
preseason all
under
conference
pressure.
selection. Isaiah Deloach back on the
Throws far
offensive line.
side, and it's
LIU
incomplete,
got back
intended
one of their
for Evan
quarterbacks
Brooks
in Ethan
on the
Greenwood.
far
We
side.
got two running backs that are both in the
Wonderful
rushing
pressure by
title
the Blue
race,
Devils,
and we got
forcing
two
Danzani
teams
to
that
roll
that
out.
are right in the championship race.
Here we go
Obviously,
again. I
Central,
mean,
the
it's
lone
the Blue
remaining
Devil
unbeaten.
defense
LIU,
forcing
even with
the
two
punch,
losses,
their first penalty in
this
the
is
game.
their time of year.
It was a-
Over the
it
last
was a
3
doozy
years under
of a
Coach
game
Cooper,
for
in the
LIU,
last
but
4
on
games,
There's
their
Braden
record
Hall
is
now
10-2.
deep for the
They,
Blue Devils.
they dominate the last 4 games
Lynch
of their
to punt it.
schedule every single year, and they come into the final 4 games of their schedule
Lynch is what he
already
does this
riding
time
a 2-game
into the
win
win.
streak,
He got a
and they're
60-yarder
starting to
again,
get healthy.
angling
So
it.
the Sharks
And
feel that they're
Hall
still very much in it.
Did not call for the fair catch, held on at the 20-yard line, but another
All right, so again,
solid
Central's
job
going to start
by their
inside
punter, Lynch.
their own
Terrific job.
20. I
Coverage.
believe this is going to be the
Coverage
third,
gets
or
down
at the
there.
20, it
That's
looks
why
like, where the
we're-
officials are spotting it. This is going to be the third straight drive for Central that's going to be
fair
really
catch by
backed up.
Braden
Hard for
Hall
them
might
to
have been
kind of
That might have been
maintain
Marsh,
an
actually.
offense
Jimmy Clark
and
said
get
it was
into a
Marsh
flow
Jr.
when they're starting that far back in their own end.
I think it was Braden Hall.
All right, so we're going to finish up this candy pizza here.
I mean,
Let's see. Not that much. Obviously, if you use like a pizza dough and you make like the full pizza, there'd be more space. But I think I filled up my non-bread pretty
About a minute gone by here in the
full there,
second
right?
quarter. The
So you got all your
Sharks
leftover
showing blitz.
candies, you got your M&Ms,
Olsen
your Hershey's,
gets
your
rid of it
Reese's,
over
all
the
that.
middle. Terrific grab.
I mean,
by the
I
tight end Peter Cleary.
I do have some
makes
Kit
his
Kats.
third
Dare I
catch
put-
of the
Dare I
afternoon.
put a Kit Kat on? All right, I think I'll put
All
some
the
Kit
way
Kats
out
on
to
there. Why not?
the 40.
It's an NEC watch along,
and a
baby.
Blue Devil first down.
Well, we don't have time. Well, we do. We're going to see that great grab.
All right, it's
That's a
November. We'll
tremendous catch
we'll,
by
we'll,
any-
we'll go on our
The Blue
diet
Devils keep it in the
after
air with the
Thanksgiving,
wind at their
right?
back. A high
couple
snap
more weeks.
handled by
All right,
Olsen,
so we'll
and
put some Kit
Elijah
Kats on
Howard
there.
is leveled.
Wow, did he take a shot up high?
All right, Kit Kats on. Okay, so now we're going to
Clean
cut
shot.
our Halloween candy
Somebody
pizza
had,
up into
Elijah around
slices.
The legs, just kind of standing up straight, and he got
and then we'll see how it goes.
trucked.
Damani Williams comes into the game.
It'll be
replacing
good on this marshmallows. I wish I had some marshmallows, but like the
Joe
marshmallows isn't really a Halloween
No.
candy.
Olsen
Mm.
steps up,
All right.
looking long, and it's incomplete. Intended
Sorry
for
about that, but
Kafasi.
you know what would have been great
Had
for
to have a
preparation? We
step
have
on
all
the
our
defender.
ingredients out here. Would have been smart to have a napkin.
You
That
know,
would have
with
been
this swirling
a good
wind,
idea. So
the
instead I'll
deep
use
balls are
tissue.
really hard to
but-
control, and that ball you
All
can
right.
see it just.
So there we
sail
go.
away.
We have our Halloween candy leftover pizza, and we're ready to dig in. Let's see.
So 3rd and 4 now for the Blue Devils. Howard remains in
Cheers,
the game
NEC football fans.
with just under 13 minutes left in the half. No score here at Root Field. Cleary goes in motion. Olsen rolling right. Finds Cleary for the 4th time
My chocolate flavor.
this afternoon.
Obviously, if you're
and
a
it's
chocolate
good for
fan,
another
this is for
first
you.
down. A gain of 6 yards for the Blue Devils.
What a
You get the
smart
crunch
play,
from the
too,
Kit
as
Kat.
Cleary reaches out to make
Definitely
sure he
got
got the first
a
down,
little bit of a
getting
fruity
the
kick
ball
to it,
the
thanks to the
45
strawberry
LIU.
and healthy snack.
Mentioned 4th catch of the game.
Yeah,
for
this is
Cleary,
great.
18th
This is
on
great.
the year.
So we hope you're
for the
enjoying
big
your
tight end.
Halloween leftover pizza at home.
Having a solid
As we
year,
enjoy
the
this
redshirt senior.
Post-Thanksgiving matchup with, again, ton of implications here. Central trying to go to 4-0 in conference play for the first time
Hand off to Marcus.
since 2019 when they
Bulls
won the
his way
championship.
For about 4 yards.
LIU trying to win their third in a
LIU is
row
delivering him some,
and go to 11-2 in their
vicious
last
hits,
4
Mark.
games under Coach Cooper.
Yeah, but
It would also
they're
even their
coming,
conference record this year at
5, 6,
2-2
8 yards down
and
the
keep
field.
their
So Blue Devils doing a
championship
nice
hopes
job
alive.
with their offensive line opening up some
So
holes.
LIU is or Central rather, has gotten it out of their own end this time,
Trips to the
and they're
left
actually in LIU
with
territory
Marcus
around the
remaining in
40.
the game to the left of Olsen. Fakes the
Oh,
handoff,
taking a shot.
looking for Wadley, and it's incomplete.
And again, the ball's sailing a little bit.
Sorry, that was
on
Williams.
Brady Olsen.
I tell you, he elected to go to Williams. Wadley was open by himself at the 40-yard line.
Wadley was open. Donovan Wadley,
Time, Olsen, you're right.
we
Wynn might have got
love him.
hold
He
of
was a
that
guest
one.
on our show, a couple years back when he was with another team, and
Gary Brown comes
loved his
into the game for the
personality.
Blue
And he's a
Devils.
guy that's like a Swiss Army knife. He can be a returner, he can be a
At the
runner, he
bottom
can be a
of the screen.
receiver.
Ball on the right hash. Olsen's
So when
gonna
Central
put it up
Connecticut
again.
State
Here
got
come the
him
Sharks over
out of the
middle,
portal.
and it's caught.
Oh.
Wow, what a grab!
That was a collision.
Michael Trovarelli held on
Jeez.
and
How
took
did
the
he
hit.
hold on to that?
Sensational catch. The safety does a great job coming over, and you think
I mean,
it's
that
gonna be
pass
a
is
pick.
thrown on a dart, but that one was thrown. That's like threading the needle.
some
There were
hops
2
on that one.
LIU defenders
We know he
right
has
there,
great hands.
and
That
it
time
somehow got into
extending,
the
and
hands of the
Blue
Central
Devils have it
receiver.
at the
And now here they are in the
15-yard
red
line.
zone.
Olsen to throw again over the middle, tipped up in the air and picked off.
Oh,
Ball
we
was
saw
batted
that
down at the
tip
line of
drill
scrimmage
earlier on, land incomplete. This time,
intercepted
once again,
by, I
LIU
believe, number
gets the
30,
tip,
Trey Watkins.
and this time they're able to pick it off. So Brady Olsen, who only had 1 interception all season until he had 2 in his last game, now has 1 here today. Last year he had
Again, the
12
reigning
interceptions on the season. He
Defensive
significantly
Player of the
cut
Week,
that back,
redshirt junior.
but now he's up to number 4 this year. As Central is turning it over here at the worst time.
Pressure coming right into Brady's face. Ball tipped up in the air, and then look at the little extra celebration.
Number
there
30, Trey
directed toward
Watkins.
the CCSU sideline.
On the
Team-leading
interception.
4th interception for Watkins,
Watkins,
this
the
year.
redshirt junior from
Sharks take over, going
Galway,
into the
New
win
Jersey.
at the
3
10-yard
years
line.
at
So a missed
Lafayette.
opportunity for the Blue Devils, who've been so
Had an
good
interception earlier in the
protecting
season,
the
now gets
football.
1 here.
And this one sails on.
He had an open guy.
We get a
Certainly had an open guy
bottom of the
streaking
screen.
around
Styles
the middle of
Mitchell
the field down the
was back.
30-yard line. There was contact
Sweet.
outside the
Oh, wait a
numbers
minute.
with another
Yeah, the
receiver
side
and
judge.
defensive back, and it looks like this is going to be
Pointing
an
in the direction
offensive
of
passing
the
interference
Sharks.
call on LIU.
Jason Wallace.
I mean, they had an open
says
guy,
it
and it
on
was,
LIU.
and that's who it looked like the pass was intended to. But then you had another receiver and defensive back right there next to him get tangled up, and
Number 18 of the offense.
LIU's going to be called for the
will be
penalty.
assessed half the distance.
Yeah.
First down.
into the wind.
Yeah.
I might take the push him back
Go
as far as
first
you can.
and- First and 15
Yep. And the ball's right at the 5-yard line.
instead of 2nd and 10. Okay.
It's difficult to throw the ball
Yep.
into
Well-
the wind, so
Well, and I mean, it's just sailing all over the place. Even deep balls with the wind will go farther, and you got to control it.
I can
John Richardson
confirm
at the bottom of
here in the
screen.
Northeast, it's definitely
Zanzani
fall November
hands
weather.
it off.
Temperature today in about
Big gain for the running back
60s,
Ross Jr.
70s,
Boy,
but yeah, there's definitely a
he
crisp
got it
wind
back in a hurry.
to,
That's
to
a
it. So
gain of about 25
that could be-
yards on a first
that could be
down
something
run.
with not just a passing game, but if it comes down to a field goal,
Good
which the
job
last
of
couple
sealing
games between these two
That
teams,
right side of the offensive
it's come down
line
to
by LIU.
plays at the end
All the way out
in
to the
one-score games. It
27-yard
could
line.
very well head there. That might be
Ross
something to
gonna go
watch.
again. This time
Ross
the Blue
nowhere to
Devils
go
are ready.
that time, trying to go to his right. So the all-time series between these two teams. This is the 6th all-time
Follow
meeting.
him up.
LIU leads the
Derek
series
Berlitz,
4-1. They've won the last
redshirt junior.
5 or 4 meetings out of the 5 with Central
quickly
Connecticut
here
State,
come
including 24-21
Sharks
in
after a
Brookville
loss of
last
1.
year. We
Sanzani
gave some of the
running for his
highlights
life.
from that game
Puts it up over the
right
middle,
at the
finds
start
the
of
man. It's
our
hauled in by
watch along
Richardson.
here. Stanzani
Solid
to
job that
Greenwood,
time by
quarterback to
Stanzani.
quarterback, the
Styles
game-winning
Mitchell
touchdown with 8
makes
minutes
the
left
tackle, and
last
Styles
year.
is, a little bit hurt.
The last
Doesn't
3
wanna come
meetings
out.
between these two teams have been decided by a
he is-
total of 13 points, and
wincing
they
in
did
pain.
play back before the LIU
Come back
schools
in
merged,
to,
and it was the post
Gained of
school. They
about
did
6
play
yards. Ball on the
10
left
times
hash,
from
third down.
1957 to 1995. Those meetings not included in the
Stop needed by the Devils.
Division One
Stanzani
series
to
history.
run. Well, he's gonna
But
put it up
LIU has
over the
been the
middle,
kryptonite.
incomplete.
And
Surprise
they're
that
hanging in
time.
there here. Central got into the red zone
Quick hitter,
and then
well
turned it
covered
over.
by the Blue Devil defense.
LIU
That time,
or Central Connecticut, the
Malachi
number
Mapp.
one team in
Windsor.
turnover differential in the NEC. They were +4 coming in.
Braden
They had
Hall
13
and
takeaways
Chris Jean
on the
deep
season.
for the
But
Blue
now
Devils.
that the last 2
Lynch
weeks,
has
they
done
had
a
3
fantastic
giveaways
job
against
this
Wagner,
afternoon,
including a fumble return directly for a touchdown. That
including
nearly
a 60-yarder, but the win
gave
was at
them their
his back,
first
this
loss
time
2
punting
weeks ago,
into
and
the
now,
wind. And
just as they
keeps it
looked to
low.
be primed to
Jean
score,
handles it.
they turn it
Jean
over here. That was
trying
a
to get
short
the
punt,
edge.
not Lynch's
And there's a
best, and this is
flag
going to
goes
be
flying in the
returnable, although
direction of
a
Jean,
penalty flag is
and
going
we're
to
gonna
come
get
in
an illegal
from
block.
behind.
Yeah. Maybe
That
a
flag
to
went
the
about
back.
20 yards.
Yeah.
Got caught up in the wind. It almost hit Jean. Well, remember, who was the player with the referee threw the flag and it went into
one
his
of the, one of the Cleveland
Brown
Browns.
player,
Yeah.
defensive lineman.
Yeah.
Hit him right in the eye, and he
Yeah.
went bonkers. Here's
During the return, holding number 10 of the receiving team, 10-yard penalty. First
Javante
down.
Royal, the grad student from Miramar,
Now, going
Florida.
back to finish our comment on Donovan
Guilty.
Wadley, we were
Already
talking
in.
about him
Gene did a nice
as
job
LIU
holding
turned
on
it
to that
over,
ball
or
and
got the
Yeah,
turnover
he caught
before.
it high up in the air.
Talking with Coach Lechtenberg back during the summer,
Showed his hands.
when they brought in
Those 11
Donovan
interceptions.
Wadley from the portal,
a low
we thought
scoring
that was going to be,
affair
oh my
here on a
gosh,
windy
look at this weapon you're adding to the
55
offense. How
degree day here in
incredible
New
is
Britain.
this? Coach Lechtenberg really downplayed it. That, yeah, he's a
LIU
receiver, but we have some good
led
receivers.
14-0
He can
in
run
the
it,
game,
but
but
we have a
came
good
back
running
last
back.
week.
He
Took a
special
16
teams,
to
but we have a really good
14 lead,
returner.
but
Like
then
the way Coach
the Sharks
Lechtenberg made it seem was that
poured it on
Donovan
after
Wadley
that
was
and
just
ended up
trying to
winning
make the team. He
38-16.
really downplayed it. And the first couple weeks,
Olsen back at it
Wadley
in the
really wasn't a
shotgun.
factor. Maybe he got one target or
one
one touch
for-
each of the first
I think that
couple
was
games of the
Cleary
season. But the
again.
last couple weeks, he got a long 30-plus
that's
yard
Dave
touchdown
Pardo.
against
Pardo
Robert
makes the
Morris a couple
reception.
weeks ago. The last couple weeks, he's starting to get more looks on offense and on special
Second on
teams.
the team
So
this year. Well, that ties
it's
Elijah
been a
Howard.
slow
That's his 24th
progression,
catch
but
of the
Wadley
year.
is started to become a factor
Averaging
in this
13
Central
and a
Connecticut
half
State offense. We'll see
per
if he has
reception.
any
That one goes for
big
5.
plays here today.
And
Yeah,
another
And then we had
flag goes
the Lions
Blue
trying
Devils,
to bait each other over there. We'll see
left
who
side
got
of the
caught
line, the
with their
left
hand in the
tackle
cookie jar, who moved first.
Raised up out of his stance.
Speaking about cookie jar, how about this Halloween
Isaiah
leftover
Deloach
pizza?
indicating
Getting
it was
rid
on
of your
the Sharks,
Halloween
but
leftover candy and enjoying a little
here's
game
the
day
call
snack
from
as well.
Jonathan Grand.
False start. Number 53 of the offense. 5-yard
Does
penalty.
go on the Blue Devils.
Second down.
Laquan
Tell you, if
Gaddy,
there's one good thing
freshman from Newark,
about
New
these
Jersey.
100 penalties
Adam
that we've
talked
had
about
so
it,
far in
Mark,
this game,
just,
with the
kind of
referees
shuffling
coming on the
offensive line this
microphone, it's
year,
giving me a
right, with
chance
all
to
the
take more
injuries.
bites of the pizza. So,
Warm enough?
now I'm not complaining. They can
Not
keep
warmer
going.
than last
When I
night.
finish the pizza, then I might be.
Still thawing out. I
Then I
they
might
act
be
like it
complaining
was,
about that, but we'll
25
see.
degrees below, but
It was windy. I'll give you that. Elijah Howard gets the handoff, and he's tripped up at the 25-yard
Motion
line.
right there, and
that
LIU
was
not
Scoot
phased by
Gardner,
it.
Junior.
Trying to confuse LIU with the mesh point.
Sophomore.
Guys
They're
crossing
very
and the quarterback, the third. There
emotional
were
and
3 people at the
Yes.
point of
These Sharks, which, you know,
the
it's
point of
football,
contact
right?
right there.
They played that. They
The
practiced
LIU
that.
guessed
did. They
correctly
warmed
who
up like that.
had the football.
All right, trips to the left. Williams, Wadley.
Root Field's certainly been a great home for Central Connecticut,
Williams
especially
in
these last
motion.
2 years. They are
Looking
8-1
and
at home the
Damani
last
Williams
2
is
years under
interfered
Coach
with.
Lechtenberg, and it looks like that's going
To
to
the
draw a
chagrin.
flag.
The bump.
Throw to
of
the near
Jalen
sideline,
Bell.
and this one's going to be on LIU.
Number 6, the 6'1"
An
sophomore
offensive
from
passing
Mississippi,
interference, now a
Florida.
defensive passing
Ooh,
interference.
The bell tolls,
That's right.
huh?
Him. 15-yard penalty.
So
That
go
was
ahead,
the
refs,
first
do your
down
thing.
for
Another
the Blue
bite.
Devils.
Yeah, there was that bump.
Pass interference. Number
Near
6 is the
side.
defense. 15-yard penalty. First down.
That's the 7th
Watch
penalty.
it again. Right there, the push, the bump, and then the throwing up of the hands indicate he fell down, but I didn't do it. Right? Well, how did he fall down?
7 penalties,
So,
45 yards here in the
Central
first
Connecticut
half
started
for
1
LIU.
for 4,
Blue Devils
converting
can
third downs. They
capitalize.
converted their last
1st and 10
2
at their
third
own
downs in a
40.
row. That last third down converted
Olsen
by penalty.
looking long,
Olsen
going
all
long,
day.
and in and out of the hands.
Camera
of
didn't quite
Pardo.
catch up
Ball
to things
may
right
have
there,
been
but
tipped.
they had a good attempt at taking a
Step
shot
for step
downfield.
Was
I like
Trey
that type of play
Watkins.
calling because it gives the defense something to think
Well,
about.
he may
Even
have
if
got
you
a
don't
hand on
hit
it,
it,
but-
it perhaps
Olsen
gives the opportunity
struggled
to have that
in the
connect
first half
later on.
with accuracy due to the wind. Not on that.
And
play.
that was there.
That was a perfectly thrown pass.
Yeah, that was right there.
Right to Pardo over his
Especially
shoulder.
when you have a back like
Right
Howard, you
through
can
the
do some
hand.
play
Olsen to his
action
fourth
and
interception
take those shots
on a tipped
downfield.
ball earlier in the
David
half.
Pardo,
This
the
time they'll try
intended
to run it
target.
with Elijah Howard.
I don't think any relation to Don Pardo from SNL.
Gets
That'd be
out to about the
quite a
43-yard line, brings up
that'd be
a
quite a
third
story
down
if he was related.
for the Blue Devils.
Midway through the second quarter here, no score and another third down
Blue Devils
for LIU. Again, they
3 of
converted their
6
last
mark
2 in a
on
row.
third
They
down
extended this drive on a 3rd and long last time by
this
a penalty.
afternoon, and the Sharks 1 of 5. Call it 3rd and 7 with 7:20 left here in the first half. No score.
Mentioned Central having that great home
Olsen
record. They played
pushes
3
Howard
of their
to the
final
right.
4
Olsen
games
looking
at
over
home.
the middle, and it is caught by
right at the
Krafasi,
50.
fighting for
Oh,
yardage.
it's going to
but
depend on the spot.
he has enough for the first down. Got out to about the
And I think they're going to give it to him. They do.
And
Right
Krafasi,
at the
nice
spot that
job
they needed to
holding
go.
on.
Oh my! Great job! Great throw. 3 Sharks had him surrounded, and boy, Brady Olsen put it.
Look at the way he
on him.
fought there.
Fourth
at the end of
third down
that.
conversion here in the first half
Krafasi
for the Blue Devils. Remember,
fighting
Central
his
had
way
it down
forward. He
to
knew
the
exactly
15-yard
where he
line
was, and he knew exactly how far he had to go.
on a big play, catch by Trovarelli, but Olsen
Central gets
was
ready to cross over
intercepted on a
into
tipped
LIU
pass.
territory again here. Last
Right
time
at midfield.
they turned it over.
Fake the handoff to Marcus.
Nice quick
And
pass to the near
caught on the
sideline.
near side by Paul Marsh.
Paul Marsh, the senior from Connecticut.
Junior making the reception.
Central Connecticut, we mentioned last
He's
week
in
they were
double
sitting at
figures.
home and they
That's his
took over
10th
first
catch.
place thanks to Wagner's loss over Duquesne, or Duquesne's loss to Wagner. Roles a little bit
receiver
reversed
now
this time around.
this year with
Remember last year
10
it
or more
was
catches.
Duquesne that
Handoff
was the unbeaten
goes to
running through the
Marcus.
league, trying to win another
Fighting
second
for
straight
yardage, could be about a
championship. And then
half
it
a
was
yard
Central
short
that got
of
tripped
the
up
first down. They
on
gotta
an
get to the
ESPN Plus
40-yard line.
broadcast
Here
against the
comes
New
Sean
York
O'Brien
school,
in the game.
and took their first conference loss
14
in somewhat of an
different
upset
receivers have caught
fashion.
passes this
Now, that just happened to Duquesne last week. Now Central, they're the
Almost
team
think
that
it's
they're not
two-down
the underdog
territory here,
anymore.
Mark,
Now
with
they're the hunted.
5:40 left, and remember,
So
LIU gets the
roles
ball
a little bit
to begin the
reversed,
second half.
and
Marcus
those
remains
paths,
in the game. Olsen in the
just
shotgun,
like last
and
year,
the
could
extra
be
tight end
leading
is
towards a
O'Brien.
head-to-head showdown. This time, though, it would
Brown
be in
goes in
Pittsburgh. You
motion.
mentioned 3 of the final
Olsen's
4
gonna
games
keep it
for
himself.
Central
He's
at
got
home.
the first down.
The one
Inside
road
the
game
30-yard
is at
line.
Duquesne, and that
Brady
could
Olsen.
be the game for it all. Brady Olsen had that touchdown run
As the clock continues
in the
to move,
overtime
we approach the
to
5-minute
help
mark.
keep
Bruce
Central
Field, Mark
Connecticut stay
Robbins.
perfect. We know that Brady Olsen,
Mike
not
ahead.
just your pocket
Bruce,
passer,
Mike ahead
both of the
with a nice
quarterbacks,
block
or maybe we should
on
say
the
all 3 of the
corner.
quarterbacks in this
Olsen
game,
came around
because
the right
LIU is a
side to
couple of
pick
them.
up that
They
first
can
down.
run when needed to, and Brady Olsen shows it off right there.
O'Brien remains in the game at tight end,
Olsen
along
spent
with
time
Peter
at
Cleary.
UMass before coming to
Elijah Howard back into
Central
the Blue
Connecticut,
Devils.
sold on what Coach
Now they
Lechtenberg
line up to the right,
could
two
do.
tight ends. Olsen takes the snap, fakes.
There's
Looking
the
in
play
the end
action,
zone, has
looking
time.
deep.
A little
A
miscommunication.
little
He's trying to get
miscommunication
O'Brien.
right there.
O'Brien cut back toward the inside.
You know, we talked
Brady
with
thought he
Brady
was
Olsen
gonna
earlier this year on our
go
podcast,
outside,
and we asked about, you
threw it
know,
there
how
to a
tough is it to
spot.
repeat? You know, getting the rings are nice, but how do
Ortega
you kind
comes
of
out and Paul Marsh back
put
in
that
for him.
behind you and look forward? And he talked
He
about
lines
how,
up
you
in
know,
the
there are a
slot,
lot of guys that are
incomplete
new
pass.
on the team this
Stops
year
the
that
clock,
didn't get
4:40
rings, that weren't part of
remaining here in the first
last
half.
year's team. So he's kind of fighting for them, and those are great words to hear from your leader, from your quarterback. Not satisfied
Hands it off
by
to
winning
Howard.
one for
He gets
himself,
the
that he's
edge.
still looking
Elijah
to get
Howard cuts
rings
it
for
back.
the guys that weren't
Down
a part
to
of
about the
the team
20-yard
last year,
line.
where this is a brand new
Late.
experience
Yeah, very
for them.
late.
It's
From
not
the
the same
umpire.
old thing. Great mentality
Away from
to
the
have
play.
for a leader and a competitor trying to win a second straight championship for the Blue Devils.
I think they just picked it up.
They're talking about it.
We have to throw a flag so the official could tie his shoe. We've seen a lot, but I don't know that I've seen that one.
A lot of penalties in this game. Mentioned Blue
There
Devils.
was no flag for face
They
mask.
did pick it up.
There was not a twist and a pull. Third down.
No twist,
They didn't say it,
pull,
but I'll say it. They threw a
foul.
flag so the official could tie his shoe.
Problem.
All right, the official has his shoe all tied, ready to go, and now
We've seen
Central
7
Connecticut
punts here
approaching
in
the
first
red zone once again. Last time they turned it over with an interception.
Devils
Can they get it
back
in
in
as
the
we
red
approach
zone. Second
halftime?
time
4
in
minutes
this game
and
they've been in
change
the
to
red
play in New Britain, Connecticut in this first half. An anticipated rematch
With
from
Howard in the
the
backfield.
three-point game when LIU upset Central last year.
Elijah Howard dances his way inside the 20-yard line. Nice job again.
So we
by
talked about the
LIU.
rushing title race with the 4 backs, including the 2 in this game. Ness Davis from Duquesne enters the week as the NEC leader with 598. That's going to get passed because Duquesne's on a bye week this week. So he's going to get surpassed sitting at home. Ross is only 5 yards behind
19
Davis
now.
at 593. Then you have Trebell from
remains in the game.
Mercyhurst. He's going to get passed because Mercyhurst is on a bye week
Blue
this
Devils
week.
17
And then you
out
get
of
Elijah
31
Howard. So you have 4 backs separated by
for
26
touchdowns in the
yards
red zone.
for
This
the
one
rushing
caught,
lead with 3
but
regular season
broken
weeks
up.
left to go after today.
Overall, Central 26 out of 32 this year in the red zone.
I think Amari Lewis does a
And
nice
Elijah
job
Howard
on
mentioned
that
missed
play.
some time. He missed about a game and a
Motion
half
and everybody
due to
to flow
injury
going
earlier
to the
in the
right.
season.
Brady Olsen
Probably
throws
still
back,
not
but
100%, but
Lewis
he's
never
he's
left
made up
his
ground.
spot.
100-yard games,
It was
2 of the
almost
last
picked
3
off.
weeks, and the 3rd week last week he had 90 yards.
Marcus in the backfield behind Olsen with the play clock now down to 10. Blue Devils need to come away with points here. Little blitz from the corner.
LIU
the
very
Sharks.
stout against the run.
Marcus
They've
gets
been
back
like
about
that
4
all year.
yards.
Marcus is the ball carrier on the play.
Well,
Gain of 2 yards, they'll make 3rd down and 10.
Wadley comes back in.
Here comes the playmaker,
As
Donovan
does
Wadley
Elijah
back
Howard.
into the game. I like it.
Tovarelli
3rd down call,
and
put your
Ortega.
playmakers in there.
And
3rd and
Kavasi
10 at the
goes split to the
19.
left. Jack
A drive
Hennessy
that at the moment
just
has gone
It's a field goal
13
kick
plays
for the
for
Blue Devils. Had a
53
terrific year
yards.
so far.
This has taken
Jerry
9 minutes
Rice
off the clock.
Watch award list. Olsen steps up.
Olsen gonna take
off and
it.
Dives
Oh, he
forward
knew he had a long
about
way
the
to go. I
15-yard
wonder.
line, gonna be short.
I wonder if he thought maybe we're gonna go
first
for it on
down,
4th
and
down.
We'll see.
They're not gonna have to make
Jack
that
Hennessy.
decision here because we're gonna get to the 2-minute timeout.
First, we get the 2-minute timeout. We'll stay here.
So 2
Mark
minutes to
Hennessy,
go
9 out of 12 this year.
in this first
And,
half.
you know,
No
you have an
score.
opportunity
LIU
to talk
Central
about it when you
Connecticut.
think about going
And this is
for
an
it or
interesting
not, right?
decision
Also,
because you got the
both
win,
teams, by the way, with
but
3
you also
timeouts
have a
also.
kicker
4th and 7.
who has been very, very good
Gotta get to
the
about the
last couple
9-yard
weeks. He's on
line,
all
right?
kind of watch lists. Jack Hennessy, the redshirt
Just a
freshman,
smidge inside the 10.
he has been
But I
great.
think
And this
shot
is
of
a
Hennessy
Central
right
Connecticut
here is
team
what
that,
the Blue Devils need.
Yeah.
again, we want to give a shout out to their special
think you
teams,
gotta-
their
nothing
wrong with
co-special
that.
teams coordinators, Charles Williams, Joe Rankin, who had a lot of replacing to do. They Central special teams, their punter and their kicker have been great. Jack Barnum was amazing. He moves on to Villanova, and now they have to bring in this new kicker, a redshirt freshman, and all he's done. I believe he's only 8 for 9. And
And
he's
to the
only missed.
Stats
I mean, he's been
Perform
great.
Jerry Rice Award watch list.
Yeah, they're talking about that right
Hennessy,
now.
Presented annually to the
All
top
sorts
rookie
of watch lists.
in FCS. Hennessy, of course, leads the NEC in both field goal percentage, 75%, and field goals made per game. He's 24th nationally, Hennessy.
All right, so they're
they're
telling
gonna
you all
spot
the
this
stats. It
one
looks
at
like they
the
will go
23-yard
for the
line, so
field
this will be a
goal here.
33-yarder.
Olsen on the scramble
And
did get a good
Hennessy
chunk
between
of
30 and
yards,
39 this year,
but
3 out of 4.
they're going to
Gotta
take the
be careful
points.
not to
And
hook
who knows, in a
with this
0-0 game, 3 points in this second half could
See
make
if
all
it
the
affects the
difference.
flight of the football.
LIU, they will get the football here in the final 2 minutes, and they will get the football to start the second half. So this could be big for CCSU if they could get points on the board.
Hennessy with the wind at his back. Slides
And
it
he's got
through.
it.
So the 10th field goal.
33-yard field goal is good,
And the Blue Devils
and that
are
breaks
first
the
to get on the
scoreless
board.
seal. We finally
LIU
got
will get
points.
it back with
3-0
all 3 timeouts.
Blue Devils
Well,
over LIU
you said
here in the final 2 minutes of the first half. Now, again, coming up at halftime, you will hear our interview that we did for the podcast this week with O.J. Ross, the running back for LIU, so you'll get to hear some of that. We'll also have all the stats for you and recap the first half here as we get ready for what should be a very interesting 30 minutes. No matter what LIU does here in this final minute 55, it's setting up for an interesting second half here.
We talked about the
as LIU
men's
tries
cross-country team. How
do
about
it to Central
congratulations
Connecticut
to the
State
women's
again, and
cross-country team
Duquesne
defending
trying to get back into first place from the comfort of their own living room. If LIU can pull off the upset here on the road.
and who coaches.
So all in all, that drive goes 15 plays for 56 yards. It took up almost the entire second quarter. Central Connecticut was on that drive.
Or Sarah.
Is he has the
Well,
most
let's take a look.
championships?
Total yards, Central Connecticut State outgaining LIU 160 to 45 at the moment.
Blue Devils lead the NEC in net kickoffs. 42.3 yards.
LIU been
11
sacked
touchbacks
once.
this
Central
year.
has the only turnover with the interception. Central with a 77 to 43
Ingram and
advantage
Davis
in
are
rushing
deep.
yards.
Oh,
Neither
and it
team has
bounces.
been able
It's a
really
lot
to
of
make much
football.
traction on the
12th
ground.
touchback goes out of the end
As
zone.
what would you expect? These are the top 2 rush defenses.
I don't know if
in the
anybody
NEC.
watched. Go ahead.
LIU's fortunate.
7 penalties
That ball doesn't get to the
for
end zone.
LIU,
They
4
gave up on it.
He
penalties
didn't
for
call for a
Central
fair
Connecticut
catch.
State.
Yeah.
And Central has doubled
Another
up time of
touchback
possession
by
on
the little
LIU
kicker, and here we
because
go.
of that long
With 1:55
drive that they're just
remaining,
coming off
the
of to
Sharks
get
with
the
all
3
3
points.
timeouts. Noteworthy.
All right,
the
so
Blue Devils
LIU
also with all 3 timeouts.
Under
So they
2
get a
minutes,
stop.
all 3 timeouts.
LIU ball on the 25.
Let's see what they could do here
And
in these waning moments of the first
well, you
half
have
in New
Stanzani
Britain,
to
Connecticut.
the left, you have three.
We do have a trivia
Okay.
question for everybody,
your-
and we will give the
pick your
answer to
carrier.
this
It's gonna
trivia
be
question
Greenwood.
coming up in the second half, in the third quarter.
And look at
Central
this,
Connecticut
up at
trying to
midfield.
earn the NEC's
Extra-
automatic
extracurricular
bid
activity.
to the
You
FCS
don't call
playoffs for a
timeout
second
yet.
straight
We'll see
year.
what kind of
We want to know when was the last time
pace
that an
LIU
NEC
is
team
taking their
represented
time.
the league back-to-back consecutive years in the FCS playoffs.
And I would,
So
'cause you have
Central's
to
trying
win,
to do
too.
it.
You
Yes.
make a
Who was
punt
the
into
last
win,
team
you've
to
got
do
win,
it?
and you don't
We will
get
have that
the
answer coming up
Stanzani's gonna
in
put
the
it
second
up.
half.
Slings it, and it's deflected.
That was
Yeah.
and the clock
deflected.
stops.
Didn't quite get there. It stops
Trying to
the
get
clock.
it to Greenwood out of the backfield.
LIU trying to go
I think
up
Gavin Taylor
tempo
got his
for the
hands up.
possessions that they've had. Now they're really trying to go up tempo as they try to put in a 2-minute drill here to
That
get
helps the Blue
at
Devils.
least a field goal
Stops the
opportunity.
clock. Third
Yeah.
and 11.
And you
You
would
get
think
another incomplete pass, and
Lucas
wow,
Stanzani,
the Blue
the
Devils will be in great
quarterback for the LIU
Ross
Sharks,
did rip off a 24-yard
coming back from
run.
injury himself.
shape. Yeah, I'd watch
in this
quarterback
quarter.
keeper here.
It's been quite the saga.
They give it to
They'll
Ross.
run it with Ross,
Oh,
who
no, actually,
breaks a
that was
couple
Stan-
tackles.
No, Ross does
If you
have
saw
it.
our
Out to
interview
the
this week, he
34-yard
talks
line, and
about
now you want to take
Well,
that
your timeout.
physicality, this rushing style.
Short, yeah.
Yeah, you
where
gotta
he
take
fell
your
in
time
love
out,
with the
right.
game of football.
Absolutely. Adam Lechtenberg. They should probably put more time on the clock.
Yeah,
The play
timeout here,
ended with about
fourth down.
1:12
So
left on the clock.
decision time
And
for
that's the
LIU.
second-
It's fourth
or
and short. If
first
I'm
time out of
LIU,
the
I
half.
might go for it here.
So they'll have 2
Your
left.
defense has been going
Again,
great. I know it's on your end of the
Will
field. So
Lynch has
if
done a
you don't
fantastic
make
job
it,
this afternoon.
it gives Central
running
the
the
ball pretty much already in field goal range. But you have the #1 defense. You trust your defense that if
Jimmy
you
Clark
don't
with the
convert, you
announcement
can at
about the
least
men's
hold them
cross-country
to a
team.
field goal try. At the very worst, it's 6-0, and you get the ball to start the second half. So I might, if I'm LIU, especially with all the weapons they have, you have Ross, you have 2 quarterbacks. I might be going for it here on 4th down. Our stream just stopped there for a second, which is poor timing. Poor timing before a crucial 4th down. And we got the blue screen of death. Let's go, Central. Let's get this streak back. We got a big 4th and 1 play coming up here. Well, we'll we'll try to follow it. If we don't get the stream back in time, we'll try to follow it as it's going down. Central called that last time out as they're trying to preserve clock for themselves if LIU was going to punt. But again, is LIU going to punt? I wouldn't. I would go for it. But then again, you're talking to someone who's an Eagles fan who, in this situation, you just run your brotherly shove. And I mean, it's 4th down and 1 doesn't exist. It's just the bridgeway to get to the first down. So I would go for it, but we'll see how much of a gambling man Coach Cooper is here in this situation. It looks like our feed isn't back yet, but it looks like LIU did decide to punt, which I wouldn't have done for the record. And it was not a good punt. It was only 23 yards. It was Lynch's shortest punt of the day. And so now Central takes over, under a minute to go. They have 2 timeouts, and now they're going to try to drive and get points for themselves. So that wouldn't be good. All right, we're going to work on getting our stream back here. All right, we'll try to get our stream back, everyone. We'll step aside and be back in a moment, hopefully for the end of this first half in time. Be right back with us here on our NEC Front Row Live Watch Along. All right, we're back. We got our stream, and it looks like there's 28 seconds left. Central has it 3rd and 1 in LIU territory. Mentioned Lynch did not have a good punt.
And do they use a timeout here with 9 seconds left?
Now they say
it's incomplete.
Throw up the middle, incomplete pass.
Well,
they're going to call incomplete pass. So now it looks like Central's just going to punt this one back.
This is like the New York. The end
it's
of
going
the
to
half
take
of the New York
almost
Jets,
all of
where,
the remaining clock. Maybe there'll be like 6
see
seconds
if they take
left.
A shot downfield. And
I'm not going to say 6 and the other number that comes to after 6. I'm not going to say it. I hear that enough
9 seconds
in my elementary school 3rd grade classroom.
Trying to draw them off sides.
And when you say those 2 numbers consecutively now, you hear it in your head as the words are coming out of your mouth. You realize it's happening and you can't stop it. But I just stopped it right there. 6 and then the number that comes after 6.
Hail Mary,
you'll have that many seconds left.
It's going to take at least 9 seconds, right?
Close.
All right, so now they put 9 seconds left on the clock.
What do you got?
So that's a little bit different. You could take a shot at a Hail Mary. And if it's an incomplete pass, maybe there's a second or so left.
You know,
unless you have Brady Olson running around for a little bit.
You got the wind with you, but how far can Hennessy go?
And you could
can you get 15 yards down to about the 35?
You could also gain another 5 yards, right? As Trevor points out.
Yeah, or you could get the first down. That's always an option too. And Central still does have 1 timeout remaining.
I think the issue comes.
It started when Wadley
25 seconds, 28 seconds to go in the half. Well, they didn't call timeout.
And it started when Wadley didn't get out of bounds also.
Right. And then,
all right, so let's see what play call Coach Lechtenberg and the Central Connecticut State team come out with here. Again, it's their offensive coordinator, Caleb Gelsomino.
Over the middle.
They're going to take that shot over the middle, and the throw is behind the
Hennessy some
target. He was open. But it was an errant throw, and there's still 3 seconds left. So now you give LIU a chance to do something here.
Hit Krafasi for about 20 yards, and then give Hennessy a chance.
So LIU, they do get the kick to start the second half. They're in their own end. They're obviously not in field goal range. They're not a team that
on a defensive penalty.
is taking shots downfield.
So if you throw it up here,
and you
pick up 15 yards.
I think we saw them conservative last time on a 4th and 1 punted away to start that situation. I don't know if they're going to be doing anything big here, but those could be some famous last words. Let's see.
Stanzani's going to run the ball. No, he's going to put it up.
Stanzani forced out of the pocket.
Gets sacked.
He gets sacked, second sack by the Central defense today, and that's going to bring
how about the job
the
by
first
the Blue
half
Devil
to
defense,
a close.
holding LIU to a goose egg
so
here.
at the half, it's 3-0.
Right.
Central Connecticut State.
gets the sack.
They are outgaining
That's his third of the year.
LIU
Mark, but,
169 to
job.
43.
Only 4 first downs in the
Stanzani
first
has been
half
sacked
for LIU.
twice.
They were
Central
1 for 6
has
on third
just
down.
about doubled up time of possession
And
on LIU.
They ran 24
19 and a half
plays
minutes to
for
about
a
10 minutes
total
and
of
change.
43
Only
yards.
turnover of the game was an LIU interception as
Stifling
Central entered the
defense.
red zone. It came off of a deflection.
LIU played, bend but don't break defense. Blue
Central
Devils
started
gotta
out
make some
struggling on
adjustments.
third down,
Get a
one
little
for
bit
their
more
first
efficient
4. Really were backed up in their own end.
LIU
For the
end
first
of the
couple of
The
field.
Sharks
possessions
had
of the game, really couldn't
272 yards net
gain
rushing
anything
last
going,
week.
but they finished 6
And
of 11 on
here in
third
the
down
first half,
conversion, and it was
41
LIU
yards.
that
Blue
really
Devils hold it
couldn't
to.
sustain anything. They're 1 for 7, or 1 for 6, I'm sorry, on third down conversions. So they really haven't been able to string together a consistent offense.
Band makes its
Central's
way
defense
onto
is pitching a shutout at the
field right here.
moment, and
Before
we
we
will see
break,
what
let's try to get
is
you
in store for
scores
us in the second half.
on the
Hopefully some more
NBC.
points. We'll see.
had that
Penalties
queued up.
were a factor. We were
Don't
at
forget,
7,
Monday
still
night
7 for
is the
LIU
opener
for
for
45 yards, 4 penalties for 34
CCSU
yards
men as they
for
take
Central
on
Connecticut
Vermont
State.
State.
So we will take a
doesn't have to
halftime
call
break,
me
give everyone a chance to
Johnson.
go,
7
get
o'clock,
their
to Dietrich
leftover
All
Gym.
right,
Halloween
here we
candy
go.
pizzas
Sacred
ready.
Heart
Go take
trailing
your
at
bathroom
home.
break.
6
Come
minutes
back.
to
We
go
will
in the
have
first half.
our
New Haven leads
podcast
Sacred Heart 10-7.
interview with OJ Ross from
Francis at
earlier
home,
this week. We'll
10-0
also come
second
back with all
quarter
sorts of
over
stats
Wagner.
and a look at our out-of-town
Bobby Moe
scoreboard.
and
There were a
Stonehill,
couple other
scoreless.
noon kickoffs today in the NEC. So we'll check in on all that while you take a halftime break and hopefully come back with some more, some fireworks
Yeah, Blue
in the
Devils
second
3-0.
half once we get back to playing
Duquesne
football.
3-1.
LIU will have possession first,
Stonehill
again
2-1.
trailing 3-0. Thanks for
LIU
joining us
1-2,
here today. Again, the
Mercyhurst
full
2-2,
live stream for
Robert
this game is
Morris
available on
and
NEC
Wagner
Front
1-2,
Row.
and
You
St.
are watching
Francis
a special live
winless.
stream watch along with our
So
NEC Football on the
obviously
Run
every
pod
game's so
here
important. Blue Devils
on
lead this
YouTube.
one at the half, 3-0. And we'll take a break, come back with about 5 minutes left, go over some stats, and hasn't exactly been action.
Up next here on NEC Football on the Run, it is time for our Commitment to Success Spotlight, and it's brought to you by Provident Bank. Commitment you can count on. Joining us today, junior running back from the LIU Sharks, O'Shawn OJ Ross. OJ, welcome to the Spotlight.
Thank you for having me.
So let's start with the name first of all. Where did OJ come from?
I'm named after my dad, so I'm a junior.
Awesome.
Yes, sir.
Now, you're a part of a great LIU offense here that's come to life over the last couple weeks. LIU's won 2 in a row after a 1-5 start. So what has led to this turnaround? What's been working so well since you guys came back from the bye?
I just feel like as a team, we tired of losing, so we lock in even more at practice. We made a standard, and we just been rolling with it.
I would say so. Now, you had a front row seat to Luca's 4 rushing touchdown game on Saturday. So how special has your quarterback been since he got back?
He's been great, and it started in practice. So, and he bring the energy every day. He lead, and it shows on Saturday.
Now, you had 17 carries, 172 yards on Saturday against New Haven, third most rushing yards in a game in the NEC this year. But any part of you want to go up to Luke and say, hey, can I get one of those touchdowns? Like he had 4 of them. You didn't have any. So any part of you like, can I get some of that?
I mean, I kind of said something at the end of the game, but I know it's like a team game, so they keyed on me, so he pulled it, and whatever it takes to win, I'm with it.
Well, that's it. The 6 points are 6 points. It doesn't matter who gets it, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, LIU right now is the number 2 rushing offense in the NEC. Whether it's the quarterback, whether it's you and the running backs, what is it that makes this rushing offense click so well?
We take pride into our run game. So I mean, before every game, our coach say this gonna be the group to do it, and then, I mean, we go out there and get it done. So I think we just take pride. Our whole team take pride into our running game, and we just get the job done.
How important has the offensive line been through this whole process?
I love them. I love them. They get better every day. They take their job serious, and I can't ask for a better O-line.
Now, let's talk about you a little bit, your football journey. How was it? When was it that you kind of fell in love with football compared to all the other sports and you knew that this was the game for you?
I always grew up playing football, but I only played because my parents made me. So when I got to about probably like 11, 12 years old, I realized I was actually good and I can like go somewhere with it. So that's when I locked in and I just took it serious ever since.
And what was it that brought you to LIU?
Um, Deuce Cooper. We went to the same last school. I mean, the last school we went to is Pine Bluff, and when I went into Pine Bluff my spring, he left, and then towards the end when I told him I was gonna hit the portal, he pretty much just plugged me in, and I just been with it ever since. I knew it was a good place.
Now, right now, where you are personally, 5 games left in the season here, 4 games left in the season, but you're 5 yards off of the rushing title leader. So you're right there in the rushing title race in the NEC for the most rushing yards in the league. But there's 4 running backs within 33 yards of each other. So there's you and there's a lot of other great running backs this year in the NEC. If you were to finish with the most rushing yards this year, what would that mean to you?
That would mean a lot because I was sat out with a knee injury 2 years in a row. So me even making it this far healthy, I'm just blessed to be in this position. So it definitely mean a lot to me.
What was that journey like for you in the rehab and getting back from those knee injuries? How tough of a process was that physically and mentally?
It was definitely tough, especially hurting the same thing 2 years in a row, having to have 2 surgeries back to back. You really gotta love the game to come back after a third time, confident and just ready to, show the world that you could play ball. So I'm blessed. I'm blessed for sure.
Absolutely. That's great to hear. Now this week, the team's taking on Central Connecticut. Last time they played against Wagner, it was a little bit of a struggle. They had to come back and win it. They had a bye week last week. But last year, LIU was the only team in the NEC that was able to beat Central Connecticut State in the regular season. So when you look at this team and you look at the challenge that's ahead of you on Saturday, what might be a key or two for your team?
I think the main thing for us is worrying about ourselves. If we worry about ourselves and eliminate the mistakes and we go out there and execute, because I know the coaches got a great game plan. So we go out there and execute, we'll come out victorious.
All right, it's all about execution coming up on Saturday. We look forward to watching it. Now, these are the final 5 questions, OJ, just quick hitters. So first thing that comes to mind, let it out, all right?
Yes, sir.
All right, now we should let everyone, this is our Halloween episode, so all these are going to be kind of Halloween themed. So let's get to it. First, which is your more preferred Halloween song, Thriller or Ghostbusters?
Thriller.
Okay. Favorite Halloween candy?
Snickers.
Can't go wrong with the Snickers. Favorite Halloween costume?
Superman.
Okay. If you had to spend a night either sleeping in a graveyard or sleeping in a haunted house, which one would you choose?
Haunted house.
Okay, at least you have a roof over your head, right?
Haunted house. Yeah.
I'm with you on that. All right, last one. If we asked your teammates a word or a phrase to describe you, what word do you think your teammates would come up with?
Dedicated.
It certainly sounds that way from chatting with you here for a couple minutes. Love of the game, dedication, and it's paying off. You're having an incredible season, OJ. Thank you so much for joining us, and best of luck to you and the Sharks the rest of the way.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. You can check out OJ and the Sharks on Saturday at noon. They visit the reigning and defending NEC champion Central Connecticut State. You can see that game on NEC Front Row. And be sure to check out the full episode of the NEC Football on the Run podcast. It's available on the NEC Overtime Pod, wherever you get your podcasts. This has been the Commitment to Success Spotlight, brought to you by Provident Bank.
Hi again, everybody. I'm Paul Dottino with the NEC Notebook delivered to you by WB Mason. LIU quarterback Lucas Stanzatti accounted for 5 touchdowns as the NEC Offensive Player of the Week. He ripped New Haven for 98 yards and 4 touchdowns and threw for 152 yards and another score. Teammate Trey Watkins is the Defensive Player of the Week. He contributed 5 tackles with a forced fumble and an interception, both of which led to Sharks touchdowns. It's an LIU triple with Jaden Simpson as the Rookie of the Week. He snared 4 passes for 42 yards, including a 33-yard score. Special teams honors go to Stonehill's Dominic Scalise. He drilled all 3 of his field goals to help stop Mercyhurst. We're back on Yes Network, Nesson Plus, and ESPN Plus on Saturday, November 8th with Stonehill at Central Connecticut State. Kickoff is at noon. Remember, all conference games are streamed live and free on NECFrontRow.com, and follow NEC News on social media at NEC Sports and on the web at NECSports.com.
Kyle Turner here with the Pick 6. It's the top 6 plays from the past week in NEC football. Number 6, LIU kicker Will Johnson forces a fumble during this kickoff return.
And it's the kicker Johnson who knocks the football out.
Number 5, Mercyhurst Adonis Marshall picks off this pass at the goal line to prevent a Stonehill touchdown.
Floats one to the end zone, intercepted! It's picked off by Adonis Marshall!
Number 4, Stonehill's Torrance Washington Jr. makes the leaping catch to open the scoring against Mercyhurst.
O'Connell lobs one right side, has a man, catch is made, it's Torrance Washington Jr., touchdown Skyhawks.
Number 3, LIU's O'Shawn Ross Jr. with a burst of speed to split the defense and cuts back before going 69 yards down to the 2-yard line.
Running away, Ross cuts back now, and he takes it inside the 5.
Number 2, New Haven's Brody Williams intercepts the tip pass and takes it to the end zone for the pick 6.
Brody Williams returning it. New Haven touchdown.
Number 1, Duquesne's Joey Isabella takes the pass off the play action and hurdles a defender to get into the end zone.
The flare to Isabella on the left side, eludes one tackler, stutter step move, 15, 10, hurdles a guy into the end zone for the touchdown.
Well, folks, there you have it. Those are your top 6 plays from the past week in NEC football. It's time for the NEC Fast 5, the top 5 plays from the past week in NEC sports. Number 5, Central Connecticut's Nick Washington scores this game winner with just 2 seconds to play in the game.
That gets through and it goes in!
Number 4, New Haven's Jao Paresh heads in the go-ahead goal on this set piece.
The back post headed on, and New Haven are in front!
Number 3, Mercyhurst's Benjamin Buckley goes upper 90 with this free kick.
Into the air, it's in!
Number 2, watch NEC Rookie of the Week Fairfield's Kaylin Fogelson walk the line and score.
Still able to keep it in play. Fogelson a shot, and she scores!
Number 1, the ball is sent into the box, and Stonehill's Casey Rice pops it up with her knee and scores on the volley.
The ball in, a dangerous one. Chance in front, and they knock it in!
Well, folks, there you have it. Those are your top 5 plays from the past week in NEC sports.
This is awesome, bro. This is what the Devils thrive in.
Lily, say hi to the camera.
The LIU Sharks are champions!
Central Connecticut, they win the NEC. There is Paquette, and she somehow beat the shot clock with a scoop. Oh, what a move by Malachi Davis! The Seahawks' first ever NEC Women's Indoor Crown.
And the goal for the NEC regular season title, it's Lemoyne. LIU has done it. Back-to-back championships.
The Cougars have won the NEC championship.
With FDU Knights, absolutely perfect.
Thank you, everybody. I'm Paul Dottino with the NEC No Play delivered to you by WB Nation. LIU quarterback Lucas Stanzatti accounted for 5 touchdowns as the NEC offensive player. And it's the kicker Johnson who knocks the football out. 4 touchdowns.
Number 5, Mercyhurst Adonis Marshall picks off this pass at the goal line to prevent the Stonehill touchdown.
He contributed 5 to the end zone, intercepted! Both of which led to Sharks touchdown. Picked off by Adonis Marshall! Jaden Simpson as the rookie of the week.
Washington Jr. makes the leaping yards to open the scoring against Mercyhurst.
Special O'Connell lobs one right side, has a man, catch is made, it's Torrance Washington Jr., touchdown Skyhawks.
Number 3, LIU's
ESPN
Plus
on Saturday, November 8th with Stonehill and Central Connecticut State. Kickoff is at noon. Remember, all conference games are streamed live and free on NECFrontRow.com, and follow NEC News on social media at NEC Sports and on the web at NECSports.com.
Quarterback been since he got
Turner here with the pick 6. It's the top 6 plays from the past week in NEC football. Number 6, LIU kicker Will Johnson forces a fumble during this kickoff return.
And it's the kicker Johnson who knocks the football out.
Number 5, Mercyhurst Adonis Marshall picks off this pass at the goal line to prevent a Stonehill touchdown.
Floats one to the end zone, intercepted! It's picked off by Adonis Marshall!
Number 4, Stonehill's Torrance Washington Jr. makes the leaping catch to open the scoring against Mercyhurst.
O'Connell lobs one right side, has a man, catch is made, it's Torrance Washington Jr., touchdown Skyhawks.
Number 3, LIU's O'Shawn Ross Jr. with a burst of speed to split the defense and cuts back before going 69 yards down to the 2-yard line.
Running away, Ross cuts back now, and he takes it inside the 5.
Number 2, New Haven's Brody Williams intercepts the tip pass and takes it to the end zone for the pick 6.
Brody Williams returning it. New Haven touchdown.
Number 1, Duquesne's Joey Isabella takes the pass off the play action and hurdles a defender to get into the end zone.
The flare to Isabella on the left side, eludes one tackler, stutter step move, 15, 10, hurdles a guy into the end zone for the touchdown.
Well, folks, there you have it. Those are your top 6 plays from the past week in NEC football. It's time for the NEC Fast 5.
This is awesome, bro. This is what the Devils thrive in.
Number
Will
5,
you say hi to the
Central Connecticut's
camera?
Nick Washington scores this game winner with just 2 seconds to play in the
LIU
game.
Sharks are
That
champions.
gets through and it goes in.
Number 4, New Haven's Jao Paresh heads in the go-ahead goal on this set piece.
Post headed
and New Haven are in front.
the NEC. There is Paquette,
Number 3,
and she
Mercyhurst
somehow
Benjamin
beat the
Marshall
shot
goes
clock
number
with a
90
scoop.
with this free
Oh,
kick.
what a move by Malachi Davis.
The Seahawks never NEC Women's
Watch NEC
Indoor
Rookie
Crown.
of the Week Fairfield's Kaylin Ferguson drop the line and
The
score.
goal for the NEC regular season title.
In a shot, and she scores.
LIU has done
Number
it.
1,
Back-to-back
ball is sent into
championship.
the box and
The
Stonehill's
Cougars
Casey Rice
have
pops it up
won
in
the
lead and
NEC
scores
championship.
on the volley.
Oh, and a dangerous one. Chance in front, and they knock it in.
Well, folks, there you have it. Those are your top 5 plays from the past week in NEC sports.
Hi again, everybody. I'm Paul Dottino with the NEC Notebook delivered to you by WB Mason. LIU quarterback Lucas Stanzatti accounted for 5 touchdowns as the NEC Offensive Player of the Week. He ripped New Haven for 98 yards and 4 touchdowns and threw for 152 yards and another score. Teammate Trey Watkins is the Defensive Player of the Week. He contributed 5 tackles with a forced fumble and an interception, both of which led to Sharks touchdowns. It's an LIU triple with Jaden Simpson as the Rookie of the Week. He snared 4 passes for 42 yards, including a 33-yard score. Special teams honors go to Stonehill's Dominic Scalise. He drilled all 3 of his field goals to help stop Mercyhurst. We're back on Yes Network, Nesson Plus, and ESPN Plus on Saturday, November 8th with Stonehill at Central Connecticut State. Kickoff is at noon. Remember, all conference games are streamed live and free on necfrontrow.com, and follow NEC News on social media at NEC Sports and on the web at necsports.com.
And hello, everyone. Welcome back inside the home office. I'm Craig D'Amico, and this is our NEC Football on the Run watch along here, Week 10 of NEC Football. It is the Central Connecticut State Blue Devils taking on the LIU Sharks. Central Connecticut State coming in at 5-3, 3-0 in conference play. LIU 3-5, 1-2 versus the NEC. A much anticipated matchup that was circled on our calendar when the schedule came out back in the spring, in large part because of what happened last year when these 2 teams met, when LIU was the only team that was able to figure out Central Connecticut during the Blue Devils' eventual championship season going on and representing the league in the FCS playoffs. So we all were kind of wondering months ago, like, can LIU do it again, especially since this LIU team came into this year with championship aspirations of their own. 2 quarterbacks, a great running back, tough defense, exciting offense with a crazy playbook. So a lot was expected of LIU, especially after they went on and beat Eastern Michigan earlier in the year, which we'll get to here in the second half to talk about how LIU kind of got to this place, because it's kind of been an up and down season for LIU that they hope is finally back on track the last couple weeks. Then perhaps if they can continue this whatever it is
Nice
against
job
Central
on
Connecticut. They just
Ross
have their
Jr.
number.
He did
They've
have that
beaten
big
the
run
Blue
of
Devils the
22
last
yards.
4 games.
But,
Last 4 games in a row that they've
he's
met.
had
So again, this is
2
our
consecutive
watch
100-yard
along
rushing games,
as we get ready to start the
including
second half here
172
momentarily.
last week
This
in the
is kind of
victory.
a
So, yeah,
continuation of our
defense has
NEC
been
Football on the Run
stellar.
podcast, which is
And,
available on the NEC
Central
Overtime Pod.
did have an opportunity
Each and every week on
missed, though,
Friday.
in the
It
red
drops
zone
on Fridays during
early
the
in the
football
game where,
season. A new episode
tip
each week
pass
for the
and
next
Grady Olson was
3
picked off
weeks.
for
And then we, of course, you have the
fourth time this
FCS
year.
playoffs
Central
right
last
after
week,
that,
as
right
Mark
after
alluded
Thanksgiving.
to,
So be sure to check
got
that
their
out.
100th
But this
NEC
watch along has been a
victory.
very interesting first half
Not
because
last
you haven't
week,
seen
2
that
weeks
much in
ago,
points, but there
when they
certainly have
defeated
been some
Wagner.
notable things
Where's,
to talk about. Central Connecticut
Elijah
turning the
Howard? He's
ball
gone
over in the red
2,500
zone.
yards. I know,
LIU stopping the run
28
game. Central
yards. So he's
stopping
been
the
held
run
in
game. The
check
Central defense
as
has
well,
stepped up today,
Elijah Howard.
holding the
pretty much
LIU Sharks to
everybody
just 1 for
has been
6
stymied,
on
and you
3rd down
alluded
and
to it at half.
only
There's been a
24
little bit
plays for
sloppy
43
with the
yards
penalties for both
in the
teams
first
also.
half. LIU really didn't get an
7
opportunity
penalties,
to get any sort of
45
momentum
yards for the
whatsoever
Blue
with the
for
football when they
LIU,
had
4
it.
penalties
Central Connecticut is
for 34
outgaining
yards
the
against the
Sharks
Blue
in total
Devils.
possession in
And their
yards.
special
But as we
teams
said
have
earlier,
done terrific,
in that
right?
game last
LIU
year,
punting the ball.
Central
Will
led
Lynch
all the statistic
averaging
categories
44 yards
as
per
well,
punt. He's had a
and
couple
still
inside the
LIU
20,
was able
including
to
a
come out and
60-yarder.
win by 3.
And
So
Blue Devils
anything
lead
could
the
happen here. It'll be
NEC
very interesting to
with
see how the
10.8
second
yards
half
per punt return.
develops. The Sharks
Green
won
Ball
the
leads
coin
the
toss to start the game.
just
They
under
deferred to the
11.
second half,
So
so that is
Central will
now.
kick it
It
off
appears they made their decision to receive the
to begin
football
the
as
second
you
half,
would have
and
expected.
LIU will be going
And
into
we'll
the
see if
wind.
the
It's been
Sharks
pretty
can either tie or
consistent,
take the lead
the
here
wind,
and made
so
any
far
type of
blowing from left to right.
adjustments at halftime as they try to pull off the upset on the road
Everybody up
in New
along
Britain,
the
a
Blue
place
Devils
where they have
sideline.
won before. In fact, I think it was 2022, that run that we talked about with Lucas Stanzani as the
Angles
quarterback
towards the end zone
when
and
they
goes
won
out
those last handful of
of the end
games at the
zone.
end of the
Great
season.
kick.
13th
They won against one of those 4 victories
Touchback
by Lucas Stanzani at the end of
applied by
2022
Blue
was
Devil
against Central
kickers this
Connecticut
year. Well,
State.
let's see
So
if
we'll see what
Don
happens here.
Cooper, the head
LIU will get the
coach,
football to start
has anything
the second
different
half. A look around the NEC. There were
planned. Court
3 other
Shank Weiler
noon
is the offensive
kickoffs,
coordinator
and there was
for
one
the
game that
Sharks.
started at 1 o'clock. So
They'll
all the
begin
other out-of-town games are already in
the football
progress.
into the
We
wind at
have
their own 25-yard
Sacred Heart
line.
and
Blue Devils
New
on top,
Haven at
3-0.
halftime.
Lose
Sacred
first
Heart
field.
leading the
Mark Robbins
Chargers
on NEC front row.
14-10. The Chargers
So Stanzani
0-3
does
this
not
year
start
against the
out
NEC.
at quarterback. It's Greenwood, number
Sacred
14.
Heart 2-1 against the
Hands it off
NEC.
to Ross
Sacred
Jr.,
Heart
who
has
gets
played
the
more
edge, but
NEC
he's
teams than New
tripped up
Haven
by
has.
Jack Stahl.
The Pioneers'
play.
only
Huge
loss
tackle
against
of
the
Stahl.
NEC this year
He
was
doesn't
against
trip him up.
Central Connecticut State in
That's
that
at
wild
least a
overtime
first
game
down,
from a couple
10-yard
of weeks
run.
ago.
If not, he may break.
St. Francis leads Wagner
tackle of the
10-3 at
game for Stoll,
halftime.
and
The Red Flash,
he
the
came
only
in
team
leading
that
the
still
Blue Devils.
hasn't won in the NEC yet this year. They're trying to
54,
change that
8
today in the
tackles
middle
for
of
a
this
loss.
lengthy homestand.
Stoll was
They
the
have the
last
lead at
man,
halftime. Their quarterback, Nick
out there
Whitfield,
on that
11
left
for
side of the Blue
15
Devil
for
defense.
90
Everybody
yards.
else was in
They're certainly
pass coverage.
running the football,
Ross
it
Jr.
appears.
did
They're outgaining
average
the Seahawks on the ground,
6 or
103 to
6.5 yards
25.
per carry
So
in the first half,
St.
but
Francis
only
looking
carried
to
it 5
win it against a
times.
team
He
that
gets
has given the co-champions
two
from
straight
last year,
times
Central
to begin
Connecticut State and Duquesne,
the third quarter.
fits over the
Minutes
last
gone
2
by,
weeks.
no
So
score, and a third
go
down
figure.
for
Wagner now on the
LIU.
road as the favorite. They're trailing
Blue Devils were
St.
terrific in the
Francis
first half
at
on
intermission,
third
and at
down.
the end of the first quarter,
LIU
Robert
only
Morris
one
is
of
leading
6
Stonehill 7 to
first
nothing at the
Greenwood.
end of the first quarter. That
Back
was
to
the
pass.
1 o'clock
over
start.
the middle and out of the
Stonehill,
reach of the intended
they
receiver.
have one loss in their conference record too, so don't leave them out of the
Evan
conversation.
Brooks.
They're trying to improve
Well,
to
a
3-1 in
solid
conference
start
play,
yet
which would be
again
right
for the
there
Blue
with
Devil defense.
Duquesne,
The
who
3 and
beat
out.
Stonehill. The
Looking
one
for
loss
here,
was to Duquesne.
LIU
So Duquesne
going
would have the
against the
head-to-head
wind
tiebreaker, but
in the
Stonehill
third
could
quarter is
equal the
Adam
record
Lechtenberg
of the
choosing to
Dukes
take the win
if they come
here
back and beat
without
Robert
getting
Morris
football in
here today. So we will see. So those are the out-of-town scores, and then, of course, it's 3-0 in the game that we are live watching along with you here. LIU not able to get anything going on the first series of the second half.
The 37-yard line.
The punt will be fielded by the Blue Devils.
Lynch again with another.
And they'll take over with really good starting field position. So again, the Sharks not able to build any sort of flow or consistency with their offense. And again, Central Connecticut gets an opportunity, solid starting field position here on their
Sixth
first drive
punt
of the
of
second
game
half.
for Lynch. Blue Devil defense does its job again, Mark. Holds them to a 3 and out.
Blue Devils defense
And here comes the offense
has been
on the
strong,
field,
and this
led
is the
by
time
Brady
of the year.
Olson.
This is what they've been building to, like, you know, giving up all those points. The Sacred Heart a couple
Talked
weeks
about
ago,
his
great. You know,
first half.
some of those non-conference games that they played earlier in the year. You know, giving up
check holes,
59
11
points
out
to
of 21,
UConn and
92 yards. and that
Dartmouth lost,
interception
which
in the red zone
they kind of snatched
Williams
defeat from
on
the
the
jaws of
end
victory in
around.
that game. So
gets a block from Cleary.
a lot of
but
these
he is
defensive
nailed
numbers are
at
skewed
the
because of some of those
37-yard line.
non-conference games,
Jalen
but
Bell.
in conference play, this
time
Central
hit.
Connecticut State
Blue Devils,
defense has
hurry up,
been
boy. He's still
right there
celebrating
on
back
par
at
with
the
what they did
18-yard
last year, and that was a big question mark. A lot of losses, especially
Go
up
get
front
him.
in that Central Connecticut State defense with that
What do we
defensive
got
line.
now? Are
Could
gonna
they
look at that?
replace
Yeah, they're going to look
some
at
of
that.
those losses? Can
you
they
know,
still generate pressure?
Yeah.
Can they still get sacks? Can they
it
still
was-
have that
it's
pressure
almost
lead
like
to turnovers? Well, they answered
brought it
that
on
question
himself
throughout the
with the
course of the season so
celebration. It
far.
was
And the
like,
answer is
well,
yes,
maybe
they
that was
could.
that
And
hit
some people might
wasn't,
think they're doing it
wasn't good.
maybe a little
Let's
better
see.
than last
Maybe
year,
it
if
was,
that's
too
possible.
high,
But
The
maybe it was
crown of the
targeting.
helmet.
it looks
right?
like
thought it
this
was the
plays
shoulder
under review
myself.
for the hit.
I thought it was the shoulder. but
Yeah, it
may
looked
have
like
hit
that
it in
was
the
a
head. It's
side,
tough
so
to
the
see
forearm or the
at
shoulder
that speed.
right there. But they are going under the hood and
Well,
giving this one a
safety
look.
first.
We're gonna look at it again. No, I think it's a.
So I did want to talk about the LIU quarterback journey to get to this point. And I mean, we haven't been able to talk about it during any of the LIU drives because by the time we start talking about the LIU drives, they're already punting it away. So while we have a moment here, let's talk about the saga for LIU quarterbacks, and it goes back to 2022.
Norman
Lucas
Massey,
Stanzani,
number
as we
13,
mentioned,
was also in on the
346 yards, 4 touchdowns,
But
and
I
a
think
double
that's
overtime
Bell
thrilling
is
win
who
over
they're
Duquesne.
looking at.
He started and won the final 4 games of the
6'1",
season.
193 pound
Everybody, he came out of nowhere. The mustache, it was great. We had him on the show. It was awesome.
They were looking to see if it was
Then he
targeting or
came back,
not.
obviously, in
They're gonna-
2023. LIU had plenty of expectations because of
was a
how they
good hit,
finished
but
the season
I just
before.
wonder if he
But
had
Stanzani
gone
got
back to
hurt.
the huddle
And then they had
danced
Chris
and
Howell step
pranced
in, who was a freshman at the
He thought
time.
himself to
At
be the
17 years old,
greatest
he was the
safety
starting
super on the
quarterback
lot.
at Baylor,
That's
a
what I
Big
was
12
thinking.
school.
That was it.
maybe they wouldn't have
Howell
even
started
bothered to
most
look
of
at
the
it.
year as a young
act like he
teenager,
didn't.
not even 18 years old yet.
Gain of 3. Williams
So
in motion
that season
again, this
kind of
time
got
to the
away
far
for the Sharks,
side, and they throw it
except
over the middle
for
to
the last
tight end
handful of
Peter
games of the
Cleary,
season where they put things
who
together and
hauls
they
in.
won.
Oh, no, check that.
Then
That's Trafassi,
late in
number
that
18, and picks up
2023
7 yards
season,
and a
as
Blue
they were
Devil
making
first
their
down.
traditional run, the
Quick
final
one from Brady
month or
Olson
so,
again. Central starting
we
the
saw
third
this
quarter
Ethan
with the wind
Greenwood.
at
He
their
started to
back
get some
here
time at running
at a
back,
root field.
wide receiver, even got some throws at quarterback, starting to gain chunk plays in yards,
Gorgeous day.
starting to make some exciting plays. So in
Puffing
2024,
clouds.
they let Greenwood loose. He was responsible for 49% of the offensive yards for LIU last
The
year.
shotgun.
Half of their offense was Greenwood, whether it be
Olsen.
catching, running, or
Handoff,
passing.
Howard trying to
And
fight off the defender.
at
goes out of
sometimes they had
bounds
all
after a
3
tough
quarterbacks,
6-yard
Stanzani,
gain for
Greenwood,
Elijah
and Howell
Howard.
on the field at the same time last year. So because of that, the playmaking ability of Greenwood, because once again, LIU made a great run at the end of the year,
12th
winning
carry for
a
Elijah
bunch of games
Howard.
in
They've held
November.
him in check.
A
He's
lot of hopes coming
under
into
3
this
yards per
season.
carry.
Championship aspirations for the Sharks. They got that big win
Bell
over
second on
Eastern
the team
Michigan,
in tackles
beating
coming into the game.
FBS school. And they did it as Greenwood got
24.
hurt in that game. But Stanzani came in as the
Rafael
closer,
Pasolino.
finished it, made all kinds of big playmaking plays. A lot of the Sharks are winning in September
Olsen
now. Like, oh my gosh,
steps up
it was crazy.
Take off
but
and spins
without
his way.
without
The whirling
Greenwood, now it
dervish
was
to the
just
40-yard
Stanzani, and then the week after
and another
Stanzani
Blue
got
Devil
hurt
first down.
against Sacred
You
Heart.
learned that move
The
from
Sharks were
Elijah
winning at home
Howard.
21-7. Stanzani went out, and ever since he went
That was
out,
a heck of
things
a
took a
spin
downturn.
move.
They lost that game against Sacred Heart.
Dancing
They
with the
lost the next
quarterback.
2 weeks, including their
11th
conference
first down
opener.
of the game
They
for the
lost
Blue
in a game that
Devils.
we broadcast
Brady Olson's
on
been
ESPN
effective
Plus
on the
to
ground. That's his
Mercyhurst
5th
with both
carry.
Stanzani and Greenwood out. Chris Howell was the starting
averaging
quarterback for that game.
7 yards per
Stanzani
carry.
actually made an appearance on special teams as the
run,
holder
Olsen shotgun.
for field goal attempts. Not quite
Elijah
back
Howard
to
gets
100%
low
yet to stand in the pocket and play quarterback.
Knifes his
But then
way
after the
inside
Sharks bye week,
40-yard line.
Stanzani came back at quarterback. They started to roll off a pair of wins.
course, the Blue
Then
Devils going with no
they
huddle,
had
as
Luis
LIU
Greenwood
has.
back in the game earlier today trying to make a play. Perhaps not still at 100%, but still enough to get in and contribute. So
Blue Devils have done
now
well
the
on third
Sharks
down,
already
though,
have
Mark, in
2
this game.
wins
6
under
out
their
of
belt.
11.
They're starting to get healthy. They're getting into
game.
the final 4 games of the season where this
On a
is their
second
time.
down and
It's
9,
November. This is Shark
Ortega's
season
in the game,
in the
number
NEC.
1.
So
They're looking his way.
that's
and he
how we
hauls it
got. That's
in.
how
Ortega
LIU got here.
over the middle.
And now they're in a position where they think if they
Found
can
the
run the
seam in the
table, if they
zone.
can win these
Blown
last 4
coverage.
games, win their final
Blown
6 in a
coverage.
row
Ortega
overall,
went in
they could be
motion,
right there
came
in the
wide
championship
open
conversation.
from
But
the-
in order to have any
from the
hopes,
snap.
they need to beat
He
Central
goes
Connecticut
across
State
the middle.
here, which they
in
have.
front
They've done,
of
they've,
the
they've won the
safety.
last 4 games against
Quarterback
Central
turned wide
Connecticut State.
receiver makes his
Their
17th
defense, though,
catch of the
needs
year,
to make
Ortega.
another stop. They were able to turn over
another
Central
first down for the
earlier
Blue
this game when
Devils.
Central got in the red zone. They need to make a stop here, still denying
Pass
the
goes
Blue
for
Devils the
maybe a
20-yard
yard
line.
gain for Williams again.
Another short gain there, second down coming up. LIU 3 and out on their
Williams, a
first
speedster.
series of the second half. They cannot build any kind of momentum on the
Running
offensive
around
end.
time to
It's
time.
been their defense
His 10th
flexing their
catch of the
muscles
year,
here in this
second
game, but their defense
on
needs a
the
big
afternoon.
stop.
So another
They need to
Blue
hold
Devil
Central
double
to
figures
3 here.
in receptions.
I mean, the way this game is going, 2 scores might as well be 12 scores. The way this game has gone, especially with Central being able to have lengthy drives, eat up minutes off the
Looking
clock,
in the end zone.
going
and
for
just
the end
throws
zone,
it
and
out
that's
of bounds.
incomplete.
Ball sailed on him. He was looking for Pardo in the right corner.
Brady Olson throws an incomplete pass intended for David Pardo. It's
Olson last year talked to us on the podcast about some of his
Short side of the field.
background, talking about how he's always been a quarterback.
Down there.
His uncles were the one that kind of coached him in
Talked
football.
about
His dad was a
6
big
out of
basketball guy,
11
so his uncles were the one
in this game on
Um,
third down.
who kind of brought him into football. And as a future uncle myself come February, I'm excited to hear that. The uncles,
LIU defense.
LIU
give it up
held
for the uncles, playing a big role.
New Haven
But
5 out of 16 on third down last week. Olson's going to put it up again.
that coaching that he
little bit
got from his
behind
uncles
the
certainly
tight
paid
end
off.
Cleary.
4th, 5th grade, he realized that he was pretty good at quarterback. He's been a quarterback ever
So here
since.
comes Hennessy on for another
We mentioned
field goal.
started his college journey at UMass,
Sorry, Lewis.
but was sold on
With the
what
play
Coach
defensively
Lechtenberg and his
for
Blue Devils team
LIU.
was selling, and actually got to play
Shot of
UMass
Hennessy
last
coming
year
up here.
This one
in
from 40
non-conference
yards,
play.
between 40
So
and
once again,
49,
LIU
Mark.
bends
He's
but doesn't
0 for 1
break.
this year.
They
40
deny
today,
Central
10 out of
Connecticut
13
in the red zone.
overall
They
for Hennessy.
forced a turnover and now 2 field goal attempts.
Just got named to the Jerry Rice Award
a
watch list.
40-yard
Hennessy
field
gets
goal
into
attempt
it, but
or
he
so,
pushes it to the right.
And it is no
Plenty
good.
of
A rare
distance.
miss for young Jack
low
Hennessy.
line drive, and Hennessy
And so
just
the
pushes
LIU
it off to the
defense
right, so
keeping the offense in the
Sharks
game.
dodge a
If
bullet.
the offense could figure things out and string together
They'll
a
take
series,
over.
string together a drive, credit the defense. Because the defense has held now
Calling
3
on the Blue
times
Devil defense
as Central
again,
has
Mark,
gotten
come
to
up big.
or approached the
Let's
red
see
zone.
who
A
LIU
field
throws
goal
out at
make, a
quarterback
field
this
goal
time.
miss,
It was
and an
Greenwood
interception.
to begin the third quarter.
Yeah, the Blue Devils have defensively had the answer for everything, and now I think they're going back to Stanzani.
Stanzani second on the team in rushing, and Greenwood third. And Stanzani keeps it himself up the gut for about 6
Stanzani last
yards.
week had 20 carries, nearly had 100 yards
Counted for
rushing,
5
and had
touchdowns last
4
week,
rushing
Stanzani.
touchdowns.
4 of them
5 touchdowns overall
rushing.
last week against New Haven. You heard O.J. Ross in the interview. We asked him, like,
Leads the team
hey, at any point did you go up to Luke and say, hey, can you give me one of those
touchdowns this year
touchdowns?
with
Like,
7
really?
on
You had to
ground.
get 4? You couldn't leave one for me?
Stoll leading the way in the Blue Devils. That interior defense has been so tough today.
But no,
Another
very
big third
O.J.
down
Ross, very
coming up for the Blue
unselfish
Devil defense.
human being. 6 points is 6 points. Doesn't matter who scores them.
And Reggie Darka.
Reggie Darka also on the play, and
LIU going for that
LIU
tempo.
1 out of 7
Ooh, that
on
slant
third
was
down,
there.
and
They had
this
that
one
slant right up
broken
the middle of the field, and the receiver dropped
The
it.
defense comes through
Oh,
again. Mark.
no.
Chris Jean,
It's 4th down.
the veteran, the freshman All-American from a year ago, the nation's leading.
And I know, look, I know it's only
career
3-0.
interception leader,
I know
active
you can't completely
11.
go out of the ordinary right now. We just started the third
He's
quarter. You're only
nationally
down
in
3.
pass
But
defending most in the country.
for a
more
team
than
that likes to
14.
open up the playbook and do all sorts of crazy things with their formations and their quarterbacks, they don't.
Lynch has done a terrific job.
Yeah,
and
there
this
you go.
time they'll
There you
fake
go.
it, and
Just
Lynch
as I
gets
was
the first
saying,
down as he
go
runs
for it.
out of
Thank
bounds,
you.
and then
Thank
he
you. They're
pushes
reading
it
my
late
mind.
and flat.
Thank you,
That's the way you
LIU.
do it, too.
For a team that is so bonkers with
There's
their
gonna be a lot of
playbook,
moves. Somebody
why would
had
you
the
not go?
official
You
hat.
didn't go
Just
for it
went
at the
more
end of the
flag.
first half. Why would you not go?
Happened right in
You
front
had
of
the first down if your receiver
LIU
didn't drop the
bench.
football.
Didn't see who-
Go for it on 4th down. You have the
Hit him out of
weapons.
bounds, but
They
yeah,
went
there's
for
hats
it. They
missing,
got it.
flags
But now we
everywhere.
have to check the penalty. By the way, how about the
One of the
wheels on that
officials
punter,
threw
right?
his
Even
hat
if
up.
this doesn't count,
I think it was the one who had already lost
credit their
his-
punter. He
thrown his flag.
dropped some punts inside the
I think there's
20
gonna be
earlier on, and now
multiple
he's
fouls
taking off and
probably
running for
against
first
both
downs.
teams. The Blue Devils are going to catch a bit of a break
Well, the first,
if
Yeah.
there's anything against LIU.
it was definitely a late hit out of bounds.
Oh yes,
Right, 100%.
right in the middle of the Sharks.
So was there a
bench.
penalty on LIU earlier that's going to kind of
And then it
negate
was
this?
a frenzy over
Offsetting penalties. I don't know. The officials get together. I still do have, by the way, that
Well,
the pizza. If you were with us earlier on, into the first quarter, into the second quarter,
You know, he
we're
has
continuing our watch along tradition of making recipes. Not doing this time the recipe that goes with the home team, the steamed
that
ham,
way to
steamed
his right,
hamburgers,
taking 7,
straight out of
8
The
steps,
Simpsons.
and then
Not a
letting it
steamed
go. He
ham
was looking
person.
to see
So
if
instead,
there
we
was
have
an
a bunch of
opening.
leftover Halloween candy. We made
He got the
leftover
first
Halloween
down.
candy pizzas as our game day snack. Enjoying. I already ate half of it during halftime. We were able to catch up with a little bit of it. Hopefully, you're enjoying your pizzas. While the officials are getting together here, we could have a couple more bites.
Where's the push?
Yeah, geez, I mean, he was 5 steps out of that. That wasn't even
Malachi,
close.
Or is that? It's tough to see if that's either Malachi.
And really, like if you're
or
Central,
Kevin
you're gonna push down a
Maybe
guy like in the
Malachi
middle
right.
of the LIU bench. Is that really the smart? Like, realize where you
Right in the
are.
middle there.
You are in no man's land. You do not want to be there.
Nowhere
Starting to
in
get
the
physical
you know.
while you're outnumbered like 90 to
Out
1.
in a Shark Tank.
Yeah.
Not a good place to be, starting up things and getting physical.
Officials still, they're talking with LIU head coach Ron Cooper. He's
All right, again, officials sorting things out. We'll get some bites of
my
the pizza
guys
here.
just had to react. How can you call it? Here we go.
The result of the play is a first down.
Good.
After the play was over, personal foul, late hit, number 8 of the defense.
No kidding.
15-yard foul. After the play was over, on sportsmanlike conduct, assistant coach of Long Island University.
Oh.
That's a 15-yard foul. That assistant coach has been ejected.
Oh!
Who did you say it was on?
Oh no!
One of the
Oh
assistant
no!
coaches, he didn't have a name.
Wow. Okay.
Well,
He didn't have a
So-
name, but
Woo!
he's being escorted off the field
yes,
as well.
Yes, right now. And
So an LIU assistant coach has been tossed from this
so
game.
the result is the net of the play.
But all that
Well, if he got it
nonsense
going,
happened
they
after
get
the
it to
play.
the
The result of
35
the
and it's
play
first and 10
is
on
going
the-
to stand. So
on the
credit LIU
Will Johnson,
for a team
Will,
that,
Lynch.
again, they open
Yes.
up their
Run
playbook.
off
They
the
go
punt
completely
formation.
bonkers. They're known for
As
being
Mark
aggressive and
mentioned, they do
somewhat
get the
unorthodox.
first down
For
and-
them to kind of wave the white
On that
flag
fourth down
twice
conversion,
in
but the Blue Devils
fourth
come
down
up
in
with a
short
sack.
situations was
Face
very
mask.
and then
unlike
a late
LIU.
flag, a
Yeah,
face
inadvertent.
mask.
Good
Yep.
to see them take the chance and go for it.
Inadvertent,
But they're going to
somebody
start
had
out this new
right across
fresh
the
life
grill,
behind the
as you like
sticks.
to
Their
say.
quarterback, Greenwood, got sacked,
That might
but
have
there
been
is a
Wayne
penalty flag
Coleman,
down.
who's
And
gingerly
then,
coming
of course, you have the personal foul late hit 5 steps out of bounds
trying to
in the middle of the
explain why he
LIU bench.
grabbed the face
Personal
then an
foul,
assistant
face
coach got-
mask. Number 22 of the defense.
Oh, no.
15-yard penalty, automatic.
Well, that's
Almost
going to help
sophomore from
LIU
Mount
for
Vernon, New
sure.
York.
With the
automatic
personal
first
foul.
down.
So
Comes off a little injured. So
forget
that
the
is a
sack.
little
Now
injury to insult.
you get 15 yards from there.
Add
And
insult to
just
injury.
like that, LIU, who was lined up to punt the ball back to Central, gets
That's
a
the
fake,
third first
offsetting
down for
penalties. Central thinks they get
LIU
another
because
sack,
of a
and then
penalty.
a face mask penalty. Now LIU
This afternoon.
is close to midfield.
That's Greenwood keeping.
So they
and he
faked the
fumbled.
sweep.
And it's
Was he
recovered
down?
Oh, no.
by the
Was he
Blue
down?
Devils. Was he down? Exactly.
They faked the sweep to
Ball was
Stanzani.
recovered.
Looks like he was down.
Was down, second
Yep.
down.
So
Eric
Stanzani going
Jackson.
from right to left. They faked the sweep,
Let's
quarterback
take a
to
look.
quarterback,
Recovery.
keeping
They-
both quarterbacks on the field.
I thought he was down.
They're going to rush.
Greenwood loses the football. They're
line
going to
of
say he
scrimmage
was
after a
already
3-yard
down.
gain.
Central recovered, but he was already down. And now LIU going tempo to
Stanzani
try and prevent
Gonna
any
put
sort
it
of
up.
challenge.
He's got a man, at the 38-yard line.
And there's a completion. So the
Pass is hauled
tempo
in
works.
by
It also
Richardson.
prevents Central Connecticut from getting substitutions in.
Swing in favor of LIU.
So in order for this to run effectively, obviously you have to be moving the ball. You have to sustain drives.
Fake punt, first down. Then
and that was sort of the problem earlier on.
penalties and
LIU was
face
trying to go
mask
tempo, and it was
Sharks
boom,
are
boom,
on the
boom,
move
3 and out
inside the
punt, and
40-yard
their
line of
offense
the
was
Blue
only on the field for like
Stanzani
30
right
seconds.
Up the gut off the fake
Of like
handoff,
real time.
And he's inside the
But
35-yard line. After
now
a
they're
6-yard gain.
moving, but they're also getting chunk plays. They're picking
Luka
up 5,
starting to
6,
get his
7
groove
yards.
on
They're
a little
moving the
bit.
ball downfield.
Wayne Coleman is back ready.
Getting
to
helped
go
out
as
by
he
Central
goes
Connecticut
in
State
next
penalties,
to
obviously.
Ron DeGravio.
Stanzani goes out as a wide receiver. Greenwood in the
So
shotgun.
Greenwood is in the
with Ross
shotgun.
next to him to the
Stanzani's out
left.
wide at receiver.
Now Greenwood may be changing the play. Plenty of time on the play clock.
This LIU
Down
play,
to 10.
going back to that 2023
Greenwood
season where they
cuts it
started
back.
to get
Nice
Greenwood
move,
involved in the
and he
first place.
spins his way
This
for a first
LIU
down
playbook has always
inside
been
the 30-yard
fascinating.
line.
They've had tight ends throwing
Looking at that
passes.
replay,
They've
was that
run
a fumble or
sweeps.
was that- no, he
We
was
used to
down.
back when they had Mike Love. I believe Love was throwing passes on end around. I mean, their playbook
Clock
has
continuing
been
to move with
ridiculous, and it's been
6:15
fun to
left
watch.
Here in the third quarter.
That's why when Howell was starting,
Sharks are on
because
the
their other
move.
two quarterbacks weren't available,
Greenwood again
their
fakes the
offense was
handoff
kind of
to
stagnant. It was
Stanzani.
very vanilla. It was very
Back to the
stale.
line of scrimmage.
Saw that against in the URI game,
loss
a
of a
little
yard.
bit, I believe, against Stonehill right after that. When they have all their weapons, this LIU offense can certainly click in a lot of different ways. And this is what they
Greenwood
envisioned
averaging
happening
just
from the
over
beginning
3
of the
yards per
season.
carry, playing in
And
his
this is what
fourth
obviously
game
they envisioned coming out of that
this year.
Eastern Michigan game back at the beginning of the year. Finally starting to get a glimpse of it.
Adam Lechtenberg talked
Unfortunately
about
for Central Connecticut, it's
He's
against
healthy.
Central
Him and
Connecticut, the team
Stanzani
that
will
LIU has had their
it.
number.
Split reps. Now you got 4 wide receivers in the game. Stanzani in the shotgun. Fakes the handoff. Guns it over the middle, and it's hauled in and caught.
So now
by the
here's
big fella,
LIU
Evan
approaching the
Brooks.
red zone. Can they start to convert here?
That's his third catch of the afternoon,
Big
13th
third
of the
down.
year.
Big third down, 3rd and 4.
Stanzani 9 for 14,
You almost think
only
they're
for
run it
15
twice
yards
there, Mark.
passing. So his passing yards have not gone
Quarterback
far
got the
beyond the
read
line of
option.
scrimmage.
It
It's been
was a
plays
straight keeper.
kind of like that.
Stanzani has worked up the middle.
LIU's been doing their damage
LIU
rushing
1
the
for
football.
8
Ross
this
33
afternoon
yards rushing,
on third
Stanzani
down.
12, Greenwood 18.
Stanzani puts it up. He's got a man open.
That's right at the
And
first
it's
down
caught
marker.
for a first down along
So
the far
LIU
side.
has entered the red zone.
Hauled in
There
by
we go.
Dozier.
Boy, is it a first down? No.
Oh, wow. Did they mark him short?
They did.
Marked them short. Now this was a third down.
Oh, they're
so
going to go for it. No hesitation
this
at
was
all.
third. So another failed third down. They're 1 for 9 on the
Those are
game,
short.
but they're going to go for
Stanzani.
it on 4th and 1. It was a
Shotgun's gonna
fake
throw it
punt last
again,
time. They're going to
and
throw it this time,
it's
and he got
balled
it.
in.
Wow.
Wow.
They dropped
team
the
that
pass
loves
on
to
the
run the
slant
ball.
on 3rd down before the
Concentration
fake
by
punt
Brooks.
earlier.
He
They
bobbled
go
it.
not
He
quite the
bobbled it
same
and
play,
Burns.
but they take another
Look at
chance
it
by
quickly on the
throwing the
replay.
football
He
on a
had to
4th and
readjust.
1.
Boom, boom.
And man, they
6'4",
just he just
208-pound
stuck it
Evan
right on his
Brooks,
receiver,
Back-to-back receptions.
right
and
there.
An LIU first down. They are in the red zone.
LIU 2
inside
for
the
2 on
15-yard
4th
line.
downs in this game. That was Evan Brooks
About
on the
4
reception.
for a first down.
LIU trying to drive to take the lead, or at
Stanzani
very
rolling
least
right
tie
again.
with a
Another
field
quick
goal.
Throw and another
Quick
catch.
roll out far to the throw to
by
the far
Brooks.
side, and Brooks back to back. He's gotten the Sharks into
3 times in a row they
the
go to Evan
10-yard
Brooks.
line, close to the 5.
Well, if it ain't broke.
Ball is on the 5-yard line. It's 2nd down.
4th reception of the afternoon for Brooks. Now Stanzani comes out of the game, and Greenwood comes back in for him.
Greenwood, a playmaker. He was the preseason All-NEC
option.
quarterback. Obviously, the
Ran an
season not
option
what he
first
wanted
play
it
of
to
the game
be
Stanzani.
with his injuries and his setbacks. But this is the most important time of the year.
Ross
If he can
Jr.
make
to the
plays
left.
here late, especially
The
against Central
Citadel
Connecticut,
transfer.
everything could still be ahead for the Sharks.
Greenwood. They give it to Ross.
Ross trying to make up
Pulls his way
for
inside the
lost time
5-yard
after
line,
not
down to
getting
the
any of
3,
those
and
touchdowns
that'll be another
last
first
week.
down for LIU.
Sniffing the
Marching
end zone. He's
against
only
the
2
wind.
yards away.
exactly what Duran Cooper wants. Chew up the clock with
What a great chat it was. We saw that at halftime. Ross talking about how his team takes great pride in their run game. They go out and get the job done. And for him personally, coming back from knee surgery, back-to-back years, on the same knee, it's hard to come back a first time. Then to have to come back again and do it all over again. Quite the journey for him, but he's happy that this third go-around is a charm for him.
He's going to put it up. He throws it for Ross, and pass is caught. It may have lost a yard out
I think they had a lane there if they actually did run it to the right. Instead, they
quick replay.
Tried that rollout to the left for the pass, and
here we go.
They also had Tysell Spencer.
Yeah, they had it all blocked to run to the right.
But he checks out.
The tackle was out there blocking. They had a hole.
So first and goal at the 3. Can
now
the
they're
Blue
back
Devil
to the
defense
3.
Come up big again.
Second down.
Oh yeah, second, right.
So second and goal at the 3. LIU trying to take the lead late here in the third quarter.
8 Dozier lined up in the backfield. Stanzani is going to shovel pass it to
a little shovel
Ross,
pass is going to get in.
End zone for
so
a touchdown.
Ross gets his touchdown. He gets it through the air.
Stanzani.
OJ in the end zone.
With the extra point.
And the LIU Sharks are ahead against Central Connecticut State. Central trailed 2 weeks ago, 14-0 to LIU, to Wagner. They had to come all the way back. Punt. They took the lead 17-14. Then Wagner had a field goal, tied it at 17 in the third quarter. They went to overtime, and that's where Central won it. Right now, late third quarter, it's LIU in front of Central Connecticut. The Blue Devils are going to have to come back in. But
Ross, that's his
if you've seen a lot of Central's games, especially in the midseason, you know these games come down to the last minute or overtime.
Is good.
They've been in overtime
and
2 of the last 3 games.
7-3 lead. We'll take a quick break, come back.
No surprise here.
Front row,
another close game for the Blue Devils. It's 7-3. They're going to step aside in New Britain. We'll step aside as well. We'll continue our watch along right after this. Stay with us.
LIU quarterback Lucas Stanzani accounted for 5 touchdowns as the NEC... Hi again, everybody. I'm Paul Dottino with the NEC Notebook delivered to you by WB Mason. LIU quarterback Lucas Stanzani accounted for 5 touchdowns as the NEC Offensive Player of the Week. He ripped New Haven for 98 yards and 4 touchdowns and threw for 152 yards and another score. Teammate Trey Watkins is the Defensive Player of the Week. He contributed 5 tackles with a forced fumble and an interception, both of which led to Sharks touchdowns. It's an LIU triple with Jaden Simpson as the Rookie of the Week. He snared 4 passes for 42 yards, including a 33-yard score. Special teams honors go to Stonehill's Dominic Scalise. He drilled all 3 of his field goals to help stop Mercyhurst. We're back on Yes Network, Nesson Plus, and ESPN Plus on Saturday, November 8th with Stonehill at Central Connecticut State. Kickoff is at noon. Remember, all conference games are streamed live and free on necfrontrow.com, and follow NEC News on social media at NEC Sports and on the web at necsports.com.
For the Blue Devils.
We're back here on our NEC On the Run watch along. Glad you could be along with us here on YouTube. The LIU Sharks have taken a 7-3 lead.
Highlighted by the fake
punt
they go in the first down and also a Blue Devil penalty.
77 yards on that scoring drive.
Marcus.
7 minutes, 37 seconds. So we were saying all first half, and then especially after their first drive of the second half, LIU has to string together a drive. They just did. And perhaps one of their best drives of the season. 16 plays, 77 yards, 7.5 minutes. They take a 7-3 lead. Stanzani 3-yard touchdown pass to O.J. Ross. And now LIU has the reigning champs on the ropes. We'll see if Central can answer here. Central has gotten into the red zone or around the red zone 3 times. A field goal, a missed field goal, and an interception.
LIU.
Central has not been able to pay off their drives, and right now it might come back to haunt them here. I know Halloween was yesterday, but they might get their haunt here today if this score holds up. But Elijah Howard not going to have any of it. This guy just won't go down. He's carrying the entire LIU defense with him. What a burst on first down as Howard taking this entire team on his back. Wow.
From Elijah Howard.
Oh, and he's
Well,
my vertigo would have kicked in right there.
Up the middle,
spinning 3
getting
times.
close to midfield.
That's Elijah Howard.
Elijah?
Yeah, he's
Howard
off the
didn't come out here
field.
today to lose to any
Injury
Sharks.
timeout.
He
He
is-
tried to make his way off the field.
What a run.
You know, he's been
Paul
battling that.
Manwaring's got him right now. So.
Now, while we have Mo, we're going to give you the
Battling
answer
that
to our
foot.
trivia question that we asked at the end of the first half.
Central's gonna be
Central
charged
trying to
timeout. He
win a
tried
second
to get
straight
off the field. Yeah.
league
That's the new rule.
berth into the
And Adam
FCS
Leitner
playoffs.
is
We wanted to know
case.
when was the last time an NEC team
Saying, why would
represented
my
the
guy
league
go down
consecutively
when we're trying
in the
to win
FCS
football?
playoffs at back-to-back years.
And you're gonna-
The answer
it's
was
not a
in the
good
spring
rule.
of
I don't like it. You're
2021,
trying
and then in the fall of
eliminate,
2021,
guys
the same
on
team
the
represented
defense
the
flopping
league
for
in
not-
the
trying to
FCS
use-
playoffs
they're
both
trying to
times.
eliminate it from becoming a
So
soccer
it's not kind of a
game.
trick question. It wasn't back-to-back
Right,
years. It was
right.
actually
And
technically in the
having
same year.
defenses
It was
slow down
back-to-back
the momentum. So
seasons.
he's
Spring
saying, why
2021,
would my guy-
fall
we
2021.
wanna go, and
What
he's trying to
team
get
was
off
that? I
the
can't
field.
tell you what team that was. But let's just say they were a very sacred team with a
under
lot
the
of
letter
heart.
of the law,
Those guys that
the rule it
represented the
is,
league
but
in
they've
the
gotta
FCS
rework
playoffs
it
back-to-back years. Central
somehow.
trying to make that happen here this season,
happens all
but
over the
they
country.
still have a gauntlet
Every
ahead
week.
of them.
It's a brand new
They had to survive Wagner.
How about that run?
They're going to
though,
have
by
to come
Elijah
back and win
Howard?
today.
But
And then
unfortunately, he's
they
headed
play
towards
Stonehill
10th
and
right now,
Duquesne,
Donovan
two teams
Marcus
who have both won
is coming to
losses.
the game,
Um,
59 carries, 172
and then they finished the year
yards,
with
22
Mercyhurst. So,
carries in NEC action,
quite a
63 yards
November
and a couple
ahead
of
for
scores.
Central. Although, just like last year,
Season
everything
best
is
this
still ahead
year
of them
is
one way or
46
another.
versus St. Francis.
So, after that big run by
Get a steady
Howard,
diet of Donovan Marcus
a
here.
little over a minute
After
left
that
here in the
first down,
third
Blue
quarter.
Devils have it at the 48. Olsen's going to put it up. He's looking for Wadley.
Olsen launching
over the
it
middle.
deep for
Wadley. Hauls it in.
He got
Oh,
it.
no.
Unfortunately,
Yes,
the
he
camera
does.
was not in
What a
position.
catch.
But
Donovan
Wadley, the playmaker,
somehow
making the play.
able to hold on
I'm
for
sure
the
it was
score.
amazing, but for some reason they didn't
What
show it
an
to us.
acrobatic catch by Wadley.
Wadley,
And the Blue Devils,
as the
with wind at their
season has
back
gone
mark,
along,
took
has
a
gotten
shot,
more and more
and Brady
opportunities
Olsen let
with
it
this
fly,
Central
and
Connecticut
Wadley
State
with
team
a
to show his
spectacular
talents of
grab.
what he could do.
Oh my goodness! And you.
And
stole
apparently
my
we got a
line.
52-yard touchdown pass.
He did make the
He went
catch.
over the defensive
Outstanding
back. That
play.
was incredible.
Donovan Wadley been waiting for that type of explosiveness. Really,
We've been waiting
all
too.
season, and
We knew he
that
had
went
it
up and
from when we
battled
saw him 2-3 years
came
ago.
away with it.
Hennessy on for an
It was
important
Coach
extra
Lechtenberg who
point.
talked to us in the summer, who made it seem like Wadley was just trying to make the
He
team.
is 26 for 26
All right,
this
so
year.
it doesn't take long for Central to answer
Tennessee
right
and
back.
the Blue Devils
They get a
take a
big burst
10-7
from
lead.
Elijah Howard, 18 yards,
53
sets them up
seconds
at
left
their
here
own 48-yard
in
line,
the
and then
third
Brady
quarter.
Olsen just
One more
chucks it
congratulations
downfield
mark
to
the
Donovan
cross-country
Wadley.
team before
That
we
sounds like quite the
talk about
combination to
Yeah,
me.
go ahead,
The
look at it again.
playmaker
No.
making
Let's look at it
plays
again.
and putting Central
What
Connecticut
a
State back in front,
called
10-7.
Spectacular play. Really nice throw by Brady Olsen. He's been fighting going.
Yeah, it
this
was.
way, dealing with the wind. And having
Woo,
the ball
went
sail. He
over
got
the
that one up
defensive back,
perfectly, and
and
Wadley,
his momentum
great
carried him
vision
those last
to the
4 or 5
defensive
yards to
back
the
had
end
to
zone.
recover
Brady
because
Olsen
Wadley
today,
had him beat, so he
15
couldn't
for
look
27
back.
for
Wadley
166
could,
yards,
and
one
that's how he was
touchdown,
able to
and then
make
interception.
the
He's also
leaping
rushed for over
reception.
30
Oh, no, he
yards.
didn't.
And now the Blue
Yeah,
Devils are
yes,
back
he
in
did.
front.
On
You know,
a
we've
play
seen
like
some
that, you
crazy,
can
especially
have
on this
That's
field.
his
You go back to that
second
crazy
touchdown
overtime
reception of
game
the
against
year.
Robert Morris last
For
year
former
at the end of the
offensive player of the
season.
year
We've
when he
seen
played
some
for
crazy
Merrimack.
throws,
Yeah, what
especially
an
in that
answer
end zone.
by the Blue
We've seen
Devils.
some
What a
crazy
smart
plays.
play call.
What a grab
Take
by
advantage
Donovan
of the
Wadley
wind in the final
over the
minute,
back
but you got it.
of the defensive back. And
And
Wadley's
Blue
not the
Devils
tallest guy
had
on the field.
success.
So for him to get up in
grab
the
the
air,
lead back,
pull that one
and a
off the
season
back of the
long
defender, and then
for
continue
Wadley,
his
51
momentum
yards
forward those
previously.
last 4 or 5 yards into
Previous
the end
one
zone.
was 41.
What a play. The playmaker making it happen.
One of the-
And Central Connecticut State is back in front 10-7 over the Sharks.
Come back now, and here we go. Nope.
This is a
Felix
game that
Matos.
Central is dominating 279 to 105 in
And
total yards. LIU just
Sean
1
Ross
for
Jr.
9
deep.
on third downs. Central has held the ball
As
for
Blue Devils
about
kick it off with the wind at
5
their
more
back.
minutes
53
longer than
seconds left
LIU
here
has, and that's
in the
after
first quarter,
LIU
and the
just had like a
ball
7-minute
blows.
drive, and Central
And
just
the
had a
field
quick
judge is
strike
gonna
drive. They're still
Gonna have to
leading
somebody
by the
hold
time of possession possession by about 4 or 5 minutes.
team
LIU's
off
committed
the
a ton
tee.
of penalties, 7 penalties. All of them, though, in the first half. None so far here in the second half.
As long as it's not Lucy.
It's
Right.
really been all
Right.
central.
That's good.
But until that last quick strike,
Had to think about that one for a little
LIU
bit. That'll be
was
on pretty
in the
soon,
lead.
right? Thanksgiving.
So
a Charlie
Well,
Brown
we
Thanksgiving.
missed
it's
a
still
great
only a
punt there,
3-point game. Anything
Probably.
could still happen, especially when these two teams
Make
play.
us. On the end over end, fields it and gets it out to the 23-yard line. Still on his feet.
So LIU's going to start
down. In this game
right around the 23-yard line. But LIU, that last drive, they just started to get their offense clicking. Can they keep that momentum going that they built? We will find out.
44 seconds left. Huge play.
Man, what a way to usher in November here in the NEC. Mariah Carey at the stroke of midnight already declared that it's time. Halloween's done. Holiday season's already arrived. Mariah Carey said so. And now here we are, the first Saturday in November in this matchup with big championship implications.
2 plays.
The regular season finale in 3 weeks. The FCS playoffs in 4 weeks.
Stanzani in at quarterback.
We'll hand off to the far side.
Who runs out of bounds to the right.
LIU and their offense is rolling. It's their offense. It's their run game. That's been the big part of it.
They're going to have to run one more play. There's a 1 second differential between the game clock and the play clock. Greenwood swallowed up.
LIU only gaining about 2.93 yards per carry here today, so they're not getting those big chunk yards that they're used to. And they're going to have a big 3rd and long coming up on the other side of this timeout with the 4th quarter coming up.
They'll switch sides. It'll be a big 3rd down and 11.
Yeah, we just said that.
For the Sharks.
So for a team that's 1 for 9 on 3rd downs here today, after just giving up the lead on a quick strike, they're about ready to hand it over, right back over, unless they can put it together here on 4th down. On 3rd down. We will see 4th quarter coming up from New Britain, Connecticut, as our NEC Football on the Run watch along continues. Stay with us. The 4th quarter is next.
Goes in.
Number 4. New Haven's Jao Paresh heads in the go-ahead goal on this set piece.
The back post headed on, and New Haven are in front.
This is awesome, bro. This is what the Devils thrive in.
Lily, say hi to the camera.
The LIU Sharks are champions. Central Connecticut, they win the NEC. There is Paquette, and she somehow beat the shot clock with a scoop. Oh, what a move by Malachi Davis. The Seahawks' first ever NEC Women's Indoor Crown. And the goal for the NEC regular season title. It's Lemoyne.
LIU has done it. Back-to-back championships.
The Cougars have won the NEC championship. With FDU Knights, absolutely perfect.
Out of their pockets.
All right, we welcome you back. First play of the 4th quarter here. 3rd down and 11 for Stanzani and the Sharks. They try to go over the middle, maybe trying to draw a passing interference call, but that was just broken up by Central Connecticut State.
And
LIU 1 for 10.
LIU will punt
now on 3rd
again.
down, and
Will Lynch.
They're going to punt it back.
Will punt for the 7th time in this game.
Well, he will back up to.
They're not faking this. They're not faking this.
But I think it's more of an option to him for him every time because he runs that way.
Mm-hmm. Hall and Chris Jean. This time he gets it away quickly. And Hall's going to let it bounce. Oh, great.
Ooh, that's going to take a big Sharks bounce and go all the way to the 25-yard line. So, again, we welcome you back here on YouTube. Our second time we've done this, our watch-along
with Braden
here
Hall
for
right
NEC
now.
Football. Again, if you're looking for the full game, you can check out the link.
That cost
it's
the Blue Devils, what,
in the
about
chat,
20 yards,
and
I
it's
think.
it's in the description down below. Over on NECFrontRow.com. This is our watch along where we're doing kind of a version of a live version of our podcast that drops every Friday on the NEC Overtime Pod, available wherever you get your podcasts. Again, this is a game that is rich in championship implications. We had this circled on our calendar all year because of what happened a year ago when LIU pulled the upset. It was the only blemish in Central Connecticut's record as Central went on to represent the NEC in the FCS playoffs, something they're trying to do again this year. And right now, they have the road ahead of them pretty much
After he
cleared.
gained
They're the
14
only
yards
team
on the run,
with
and
still
Donovan Marcus-
without a loss in conference play. They come in at 3-0. They're
not
looking
see
to go to
Elijah
4-0
Howard on
for the
the,
first time
sideline
since
mark, so-
2019 when they ran the table undefeated
still in the tent.
and represented the NEC in the FCS playoffs. Trying to do it back-to-back seasons, though.
4-yard gain.
And as you mentioned earlier, they had the right
Marcus.
mentality
Ooh, high
doing
snap.
it. Another
Olsen
high snap. We
has to
saw
keep
that
it
earlier,
himself
but it
and
was on a play that was
spins his
whistled
way
dead.
out to about the 27-yard line, but that's a 3-yard
That's on a high
loss.
snap that nearly got away from the quarterback, and that
And
play
here comes
counted.
Elijah Howard. He was all right. Willis Reed.
Third down and 8.
All right, we've had a Willis and an Earl Monroe, but your
Now,
favorite
Elijah
we
Howard
haven't
has
heard
been
from yet.
quite the factor in this game, going up against the
Well,
#1 rush defense in the NEC in LIU. Howard is
someone
at
that's
14
very
carries for
cool and suave when you
53
talk about
yards,
Clyde,
but had a big burst of 18 on the last
down. Here
drive that
comes the
set up
blitz.
the 50-plus
Third and
yard
8.
touchdown
Olsen
pass.
looking over the
Olsen
middle,
lofting
and
it
it's caught.
right at the 40, and it's
Pulled
caught,
in
and penalty
by
flags
Williams.
coming in
And that is
after
gonna be a
the
targeting
fact.
call.
Drop those yellow
I would
flags.
think on Bell. Yes.
That is
Yep,
Bell, and
that's going to be on the
he
safety.
knows it.
Yep.
So tack on some more yards
He is.
after
let
that.
me tell you something.
By the way, we
Damian
should
Williams
mention,
is
if you were
lucky
with us right at the
that
start
Bell
of the second
didn't
half,
connect with him
we had an
because
assistant
he was
coach
a
for LIU
heat-seeking
ejected in
missile.
this game.
Great.
What a throw,
great
huh?
Catch, great
Yeah.
throw.
Do a late hit out of bounds,
Catch, and we will
which would have been a penalty against Central Connecticut, except the LIU assistant coach got in the mix as well, causing offsetting penalties. And the LIU coach might be watching the
They're gonna
live
look
stream
at
with
it,
us
and
here right now.
I
'Cause,
think the
he's
wind
no longer out there on the
muffled
sideline.
the mic out of the
but
referee.
It's Bell. He's walking off. Look at this toss.
Great touch on the
Perfect in
football.
between.
Olsen, like he talked to us
Corner,
earlier in the
Bell,
interview,
safety comes over.
earlier this season and last year, he's been
You're
spinning
right,
it like
Bruce.
that since about 4th,
If
5th grade.
anything, it was a little
Jeez,
glance
that's when he realized he was pretty good
The timing, I
throwing the
mean,
football. Liked being a leader,
He led
liked
with the
having the
helmet,
ball
too,
in his
right? Yeah,
hands,
Football
especially in
guys
late
make
game
sure
situations.
that wasn't a direct hit. That was as close to I mean, that could have been just devastating.
And he kind of,
He
and
came over
he
at
talked
full speed.
as
We'll
well about,
see it
because
again.
Central's been in all these crazy close
Second catch
games,
of the afternoon
overtime,
for Williams.
momentum
Perfectly
swinging games in the
placed.
final moments.
Came over,
And he
lowered
talked about
that
having
shoulder.
confidence,
But,
not, things going crazy or speeding up,
You know,
but
the save
having the
grace for Bell, I
confidence
mean,
in
he
these
admitted-
late game
there's one thing about Bell,
situations and
you
how he
know what he's
thrives
feeling,
in those
whether
types of
it's
situations.
joy or
And we've seen it
rejection.
over the last 2 years. All the
Jalen Bell
one-score
lets you
games
know,
that Central Connecticut State has been
how
in,
he's
the
feeling.
wins and the losses, just
Dejected
calm
walking
and
off the
poised. And
sideline. He knew.
if you're Central with this offense, I don't
And
know that
that's
you could
the
ask
10th
for a
different
a
receiver
better
in this
guy to
game
be in these types
that
of.
Brady Olsen
If
is
you're
hooked
going to
up with.
have to be in all these close situations as fans, your heart goes through it. So if you have to go through these
Taking a good
situations, I
look
mean,
at it,
I don't
and
know that you would
folks,
want a
if
guy
you're
who is
joining us,
more prepared
first time
to be in
watching,
these types of situations on the
NEC
field with the
front
ball
row,
in his
it's
hands
not
every
the
single
same
play.
cameras
Calm,
that
cool, and
officials are looking
connected.
at that we
Thrives in
are
these
showing
situations.
you.
Wants these
They have
situations.
different cameras, different angles.
But here,
As they
were
continue
all,
to look
NEC
at this,
front row was
whether
all
there's
over
any
it,
type
too.
of
You can
targeting
see
or
that.
I
an
mean,
ejection
they're also
warranted.
looking at other angles.
I mean, we're not getting.
We are not able.
We're seeing the overview
he's,
from
he's
our
gonna be-
perspective. It looked
if
like the
this
defender kind of went
holds up,
over
he's gone.
the receiver. I don't know that there was any
First half.
direct contact
week,
unless
yeah.
they have a camera down at field level that shows that there's any kind of
And-
contact by that defender
Oh,
and
they
the
play-
receiver.
they're
But it
home
looked like
versus
the defender
Duquesne.
went
That's a big
over
game.
the receiver from that overhead view. So they'd have to
Game for
find
both teams.
some sort of other evidence here.
With,
Um,
with its experience in the past and talent.
If you were with us earlier on at the
Williams,
start of the
that's his
game, we
second catch,
were making our game day
34-yarder.
snacks with our
on that one.
leftover Halloween candy. We made leftover
Olsen now
Halloween
16
candy
out of
pizza.
28
There's not that much of it
for
left.
200 yards
only about a
in the
quarter of the pizzas left. So to our friends in the chat, you grab your food and eat with us as well. Especially when the referees are busy talking. In the first half, we had so many penalties. I was taking bites every other second because, like every other snap, because there were so many flags giving us a lot of bite breaks. But yeah, we're hanging out here on this Saturday watching NEC football, seeing if there's going to be any more
LIU has
ejections in
won
addition
4
to
of
the LIU assistant
first
coach
5
that already
meetings
got
between these
ejected
two teams
earlier
after
on
the
today.
merger from CW Post. Last win, only win for the Blue Devils, 28-0 back in 2019.
The 2019
right,
season
they're
was the
still,
last time Central ran the table in the NEC.
Maybe they wave it off.
Went a perfect
unless,
7-0
because
to
there
take
was
the
no
league title.
contact.
Here's the
We'll hear it
verdict.
right here.
After a review, the ruling on the field has been overturned.
There you go.
Oh.
Still be first down, Central Connecticut.
They overturn it
They
because
overturn
there was
it.
probably no
They
contact.
do
right?
pick the flag up, so
Or
they've
maybe
probably
he
seen
led
the
with
same
his
thing
shoulder.
that we did, where the defender went over the receiver and there's no flag warranted for any type of hit. I didn't think there was any kind of contact at all.
Targeting, but anyway,
So they take the flag off.
What a wonderful catch.
Everybody agree with that here? In that?
Yeah, I agree with that from over here.
Our peanut gallery, as you call it.
Elijah Howard back into the game, and Elijah stutter
So now if
steps
you're
his way
Central
for a yard or
Connecticut,
two.
at this point, the last drive, you got those two
Inside the
big plays. You
40-yard
got the
line.
18-yard
Michael
gain, you got the
Trovarelli
50-plus
comes
yard
in.
pass for the touchdown to Wadley.
Williams with
Now
that
you're
terrific
almost
catch.
shifting your strategy here on this
So,
drive.
good news
You're approaching the red zone,
LIU
trying
as,
to approach the
Jalen
red
Bell
zone again. Now I don't
remains
think you're
in the
looking
game.
for the quick streak. Now you want to get yards, but you also want to
Trips
take
to the
time
right,
off the
ball
clock
on
in the
the left
process
hash.
here. Go up 2 scores and don't leave LIU that much time on the clock. If you could get it to
Olsen
under half of the
fakes the
quarter
handoff
left and go up
lowers the shoulder.
17-7,
And Bell
game's
tripped
not
him up,
over,
and
but you'd have to really like your position.
he lets you know about it.
Gain of a yard on the play. It's 3rd down and 8.
3rd down and long for
3rd and 8
Central.
now
They
for the Blue
started
Devils.
off
Clock
rough on
running with a
3rd down conversions, but now they're over
12:25 left.
50%. They've
3-point
converted
Central lead.
7 out of 13.
You want to keep this ball and keep that clock rolling. Big 3rd down chance here.
Central 7 out of 13 on 3rd down.
6 out of their last 9
This
after starting
afternoon.
1
Olsen
for 4
looking
on 3rd
right,
downs.
under pressure. He's going to go
Good
down.
pressure up front for LIU, as we mentioned earlier, an
They
underrated
got to him.
front 4. This is an LIU
Gardner.
defense that came into the day number
nice
1
job
in the
leading
NEC in
the
total
rush.
yards, or number 2 in total yards, number
They're
1 against the
dancing
run,
on
number 1 scoring.
And prancing all over the place.
Not a lot of
There you
people
go.
are
There's
talking
a
about
Clyde
this
reference.
LIU defense, but
Dancing and prancing.
they're right up there
Zach
statistically,
Bonini
and
gonna punt it away
that sack
for the Blue Devils. This will be his 4th punt.
may have been a little bit too far away for a field
Felix
goal
Matos,
chance in the first
and
place, even without the sack. But now,
That is not
definitely
Ross
not
back
going
there.
for a 58-yard field goal here in this situation with the
Bonini.
wind as it is out at in a
Down
root
to-
field. All right, once again entering choppy feed situation here. All right, well, LIU's going to take over, and they're only down 3 with about 11 minutes and change left in the 4th quarter. We'll try to get our feedback. We'll be back right after this. Stay with us here on our NEC Front Row, NEC Football on the Run watch along. Back after this.
Job by
All right, we're back. The
Bonini
stream is
and, of
back. You
course,
haven't missed
Christine.
anything after that punt.
Stanzani in the shotgun.
LIU in the shadow of their own
Ross
goalpost,
Jr.
taking
behind
over
him.
at 1st and 10 at their own 1-yard line.
Ross Jr. waits for his blockers.
So right now they're trying to give
and
themselves
gets
some
breathing
space
room
to,
out to the
to
7-yard
operate.
line.
The
They're gonna
problem
mark
for
them
LIU,
at the 6.
again, they're at their best when they can run the football with their
Lowered
multiple
and snuck
quarterbacks.
right
They can open up the
behind
playbook.
his left guard,
Had
Johnny
they been
Harden,
down 2
6
scores,
foot,
they would have had to
323
start to open up the
pounds.
passing game, you would
The
think.
biggest
And that's
offensive
not
lineman
them. That's not how they
start,
want to go
and,
about it. So the fact
got
that
some yardage.
they can
Get
now
some
kind of
experience on there. Their centers Grayson Lewis,
move the
grad
ball,
student, and
use the run
now
to
another
open up
first
pass
down
plays
for
like
the
that with
Sharks all the way
Stanzani
out to the
slinging it to
15-yard
the
line
far
on 2
sideline.
plays.
This is where LIU is in their element. So
Number 8, Jaden Dozier made the
they've already
reception
moved
for
the ball out of the
Sharks.
shadow of
They're
their
on
own
the move.
goalpost and giving themselves a first down
10:40
and
left,
some
Blue Devils
room
on top.
at the 15-yard line.
10-7. Sun has gone behind the clouds. Ross Jr. again on a first down
Ross,
run.
physical
Still
runner,
on his
still
feet.
has not
Forward progress.
gone
Gets him 4
down.
yards out to the 19.
We're in the 4th quarter. This is our time where we throw in our famous
This is their game.
alums
They've got some
segment. We
big,
have famous alumni
long
from
wide
both
receivers,
schools.
Mark, but
For Central
like
Connecticut,
to run the ball.
I mean, they've named the field after it. How
272
about Ricky
yards
Bowe,
last
Ricky
week
Patalico,
against New
former
Haven.
Phillies pitcher. He played for much other teams, but
I thought the wide
Phillies,
receiver
come
might
on.
have been offsides there. Stanazi's going to put it up, and he hooks
Stanzani
up.
Perhaps his
Down to
best
the
pass of
40-yard
the
line.
day, down to the 40-yard line. Also, Scott Pioli,
little bit of
NFL
rhythm
executive
now
from
for
Central
the
Connecticut.
Sharks.
Dave
They
Campo, former
started
Cowboys
it,
coach.
inside the one.
John Hirschback, MLB. I think it's a very successful
Jaden Simpson makes his
alumni
first
from the
catch of
athletics
afternoon. He had
department
4
out there at
catches and a
Central
touchdown
Connecticut
last
State.
week.
Stole on a
And for
blitz.
LIU, Frank Catalanato,
And he's
baseball
fired
guy. But then you have Howard Lerber, who's the CEO and chairman of
Jack
Nathan's
Stoll
Famous Hot Dogs.
came right up
John
the gut.
Edward, the crossing over
linebacker spot.
mentalist, spiritualist
Make
guy,
the
which who
ankle tackle.
probably already predicted that we were going to
Just saw
mention
the
in this
replay
segment.
on
He
the
probably
reception
foreseed that years ago.
by
And
Simpson.
Frank Godelli, who's the great producer
Stanzani
for
under
NBC's
pressure,
Sunday
and
Night
he goes
Football for
down.
many years. So both sides have their fair share of athletes as once again, and famous
I don't
people.
know who got
as,
him first, but
Central Connecticut defensive lineman trying to get
Watkins.
into the famous territory. That's their third sack of the day
Darius
on Stanzani.
Toombs, I thought, was in there also, the freshman from Philadelphia.
He put the initial pressure.
Yep.
And Stanzani stepped up right into Watkins' arms.
Big play. All the way back to
So
the
third down,
32-yard
a
line,
loss
and
of
now a
8
third
yards
down
on
and
the play.
18
Watkins
after
on
that
the sack there. And now you're taking a team that struggled on third down all day and having them go basically third down in the parking lot
Yep. Now
to
they
convert.
back up. Stanzani under pressure. He's going to put it up. He's got
Wide
a man
open.
wide open.
Wide
at
open. That was
midfield.
all Stanzani. Able to escape the pocket,
Richardson.
bide some time, extend the play,
Who made
allow
the
for his
grab and a
receiver to get
conversion
open in
on
the
third
middle
down.
of the field.
That's a
That was
better
on number 11, making that play happen. And now LIU is going to go with their tempo offense.
Stanzani out of the pocket.
Yeah.
He does a nice job, though, finding his open man.
Only the second conversion on third down. They were 1 for 10 before that one, and this pass goes incomplete.
It was almost like a different arm
Intended for
slot for
Brooks.
Stanzani. Instead of going over, it was almost like
Just so deflated,
winging it from the hip right
demoralizing
there.
for the defense. You make some big plays. you
Yeah,
get
being
big
able to
sacks,
escape the
force it
pressure,
third,
extend the play.
really long, and
I mean, when you're a defensive back, you're not going to be able to cover guys for 6, 7, 8
13th
seconds.
first
So
down
a
of the
quarterback can
afternoon.
escape the pocket and extend the play.
6 in the
That's
air
an
and
advantage to the receivers in
5
the
rushing
offense
and
for
2
guys to get
penalties
open
for LIU.
on the
After
improv,
that
and that's
incomplete
exactly what
pass,
happened
second
there.
down and 10. Stanzani
Running
on
almost
the
like an
keeper.
option play. Stanzani keeping
Ran
it.
the
Again, this is a
option,
guy that
picked
ran
up
for almost
about
100
10
yards
for a first
last
down.
week.
Tackle is made by Lazarius Toombs.
Lazarius Toombs with the stop, but a great plays in by the quarterback. Just
Stanzani not quite putting up the rushing numbers this week. 8
on the
carries
option,
for
read it, Stanzani
14
found
yards.
over on that left side.
Yeah, he had a big hole
Has
that
passed
time.
for 85. He's 16 for
Was able
23
to
for
pick up
85
give him
yards.
11 yards down to
And the touchdown pass to Ross.
8-yard line of Central Connecticut. 7.5 remaining. 2 timeouts
Halfway
remaining
through
for
the
the Blue
fourth
Devils.
quarter.
LIU
This game
with
getting
all 3.
interesting again. Plenty at stake. It's a one-score game. LIU trying to win their third in a
End
row.
around. And pushed out of bounds.
Maybe a
Hopefully
push
not
pass
too late.
right there.
Greenwood
Maybe
is the
might
ball
count
carrier.
that
Was
as a pass.
Greenwood.
Well,
He was
He
lined up
lines
as a
up
wide
everywhere,
receiver,
yeah.
yeah.
For those joining us here late on the watch along, Greenwood back
Now he's going to come out of the game.
line up on the sideline.
here today. He got hurt in the Eastern Michigan
Jaden
win.
Simpson had a
Um,
big catch earlier on this
didn't
drive.
play against Sacred Heart.
Checks in
URI
for him.
tried to return
drive started
against
inside the
Stonehill.
one.
Didn't quite make it in that game. Missed Mercyhurst,
2-yard
Robert
gain,
Morris,
second
New
and
Haven
8.
the last 3 weeks, and he's back in there today.
Ross in the backfield.
Guy who was almost
Stanzani,
half
and Ross
of
has
the
it.
offense for
Bowls his way up the gut.
LIU a year ago.
Lost control of the ball momentarily, but he's able to pick up 8 yards and a first down after Jack Stoll
Ross
brought him
and
down. And Jack Stoll trying to fire up
Howard,
the defense
two
right
of the
now, Mark.
4 running backs
would
that
say
right now are
definitely
in the
good if they
mix
had 3
in the
timeouts, but
race
think
for the
about
NEC
even a
rushing title,
momentum
which
stopping
talked
timeout.
with
If this was basketball, Patrick
Ross
Sullivan
talked
ball.
about.
Stanzani looking
Talked
in
to
the end
Trebell
zone this
as well.
time, and a lot
Stanzani
of
overshoots
contact.
that. You
along the
ask
near
these guys,
sideline,
hey, winning a rushing
but
title.
no flag.
We talked with the Duquesne
Wow.
quarterback winning getting a record for
The
passing touchdowns. Do those does that mean anything to you? And all these guys are like, yeah, I would. We want the rushing title. We want the touchdown record. We want, we want to,
6'5" Dozier, I
team
thought he was being
first
held
and all that. But like,
down the sideline.
it'd be pretty cool to have our name at the top of a
Richardson
statistic
goes
category. So
wide.
all these guys are not
the
hiding the
left.
fact that they would very much
Simpson in
enjoy
motion.
rushing titles or records or any of these things that might
Ross
be coming
gets
to
the
them.
handoff and gets nowhere. Well, Forward progress maybe gives them a yard.
Ross was very honest this week when we asked him if
the 29
you're in a mix of 4 running backs right now that are all very similar, all competitive, all picking up yards and touchdowns. I mean, if you were to finish above all of them in rushing yards, would that mean something?
You converted on their last third down, but they're 2 of 11 this afternoon.
So here we go, third down.
6 minutes left. Blue Devils
you could make a case the Blue Devils have
lead.
LIU right where they want them on third down.
10 for the Blue Devil,
at this
28.
point, they
Jack
are in
Stahl
field
showing
goal range.
blitz.
Their kicker, Will
Backs
Johnson.
off now. Stanzani over the middle.
Oh, slipped a tackle. That was a
Simpson breaks
big
the
tackle, big missed tackle
but
there
he's
by
gonna be
Central
short
Connecticut
of a
State.
first down by about 4 yards. Actually, that was Ross Jr.
Oh, here comes the kicker.
So, talking with Coach Cooper while in our preparation for the Mercyhurst game, they had just made a switch
try to tie
with their
this one
field
up.
goal kicker from Lance Mayberg to Will Johnson, and
Will
Johnson took over the field goal kicking duties
5
against
for
Stonehill.
7 this year
Coach
on field goals.
Cooper said that his range is
42
about
is his
40
long.
to 45 yards. He has a strong leg, and they're in that territory
now
here,
it picks up a little bit.
trying to tie the
This would
game
be a
with 5
40-yard
minutes
attempt.
left.
And a chance to tie, and he just hooks it to
And
the
he
left.
did not
Johnson.
get it. A chance
Very
for
upset with
the
himself.
game-tying field goal, just missed it.
Styles Mitchell came flying in.
A dead yank.
Oh, that's tough. LIU
Kinda
sustained a
Mike
drive,
Duck
got it
drive.
right
that would-
down there.
The opposite for you, that would be.
Had a
you're
chance to
lefty.
tie the
Yeah.
game, and now you wonder, is LIU going to get another chance? Central Connecticut,
So Blue
they
Devils
can
dodge a
move the
bullet.
ball, and yes, LIU can use their timeouts
Huge
defensively.
stop
They have
for
the
the Devils,
2-minute
and now you
timeout
gotta
still to
look to
come,
that-
but
that run
Central
game. You need a
Connecticut, if
few
they can
first downs.
have another long
Momentum,
drive here,
despite the missed kick,
this could be ball game.
is on the side of LIU.
Central Connecticut
Two
State has
timeouts
been in this
remaining for the Blue
situation and
Devils,
have
3
thrived
for
in this
LIU,
situation, even going
4:55
back to
remaining.
last year.
Elijah
But this
Howard
year,
shaken up earlier,
you know,
back in
going
the
against
game
Merrimack,
for the
having
Blue Devils.
you know, defeat snatched
Olsen's
from
gonna
the
give it
jaws
to
of victory
Howard.
in that one.
Trying to get to
Late
the
comeback by the
outside,
Warriors
and the Sharks
as
do
in
a
the
pretty
final
decent
minute
job.
as they lost that game by 2.
Sniffing that one
Dartmouth,
out.
same
Elijah
thing,
Howard
losing
maybe
that
picks
game
up a yard.
in the final minute, 35-28.
Goes out
But
of
then
bounds.
coming back to beat
running with
Sacred Heart,
4:45
coming
remaining,
back to
Central
beat
with a
Wagner, both
3-point
of those
lead.
games in overtime. So
You would think they would
Central
be
this
very
year,
deliberate
2
right
and
now.
2
Coming to the
in
line, maybe
one-score
they'll try to
games, and
draw
right now they
LIU
lead this
offside.
one-score game by 3 with 4.5 minutes to go.
Shot clock. Shot clock.
You getting ready, huh?
Play clock.
Yeah, shot clock. Basketball's coming back this
Wadley
week.
goes in motion.
Thursday opening day, Central Connecticut.
Play clock
Our
down to
men's
9.
hoops
They
team,
snap it.
Number
Howard
1 or number
tripped
2
up.
in the preseason poll. LIU, the number
about a
1 team,
1-yard
unanimous
gain.
in the preseason poll.
Sharks won't use any timeout at this point.
They got a
And now you're in a
big games
passing
in January
situation.
with these two teams
Gotta
on the
play it,
hardwood,
let this
but
play clock
we got
go down.
a
30
big game
Marcus and
here in conference play the
Williams come
first
into
day of
the game.
November.
Marcus lines up to Olsen's left. Joe Crafasi at the top of the screen.
If Central Connecticut State can get the win here
There's the
They
and
offside.
go to
tried
4-0,
to draw him off sides, and they did.
hard snap count trying to draw them offside.
Of course, LIU is
Again, they would
saying
stay
it's
in
on the
sole
Blue
possession
Devils.
of first place in the NEC. The only
And it
unbeaten
is.
team in the NEC right now.
5-yard penalty.
Wow, it goes
Third
on the
down.
wide receiver.
Hard snap
Monty
count
Williams.
hurt themselves right there. Meanwhile, LIU
That backs
trying to
them up
win their
even
5th
more.
straight game
Paul
against
Marsh
Central
comes
Connecticut,
in.
their
Here's
3rd straight
Ortega
win
also
overall,
coming into
trying to
the
go to
game.
11-2 in the
Cleary
final
leaves.
4 games of the season. And they would even their conference record this year
Yep,
at 2 and
pushes
2,
them back
which
5 yards, makes it third down and
depending on
12
how
now.
the out-of-town results go
3:45
today,
remaining
could have
clock
them in
running.
3rd place
18 on
by
the
the end of the day with a head-to-head victory
Trying
over
to get
one of the
some
teams
positive
ahead of them.
yards and give Bonini some
And
space to
the
punt it.
second team that would be ahead of them,
looking for
LIU sees
Crafasi,
next
and
week
a
at
little bit
home.
behind him.
Duquesne will play
Olsen had to
LIU
get rid
next
of it
week. Duquesne on a bye week this
pretty
week.
quickly.
The Sharks will get them back
Intended for Joe Crafasi.
in Long Island next
LIU
week
the
at
ball
12
back,
p.m.
3.5
kick. In fact,
to
all of
play.
LIU's remaining games are 12 p.m. kicks. Duquesne,
The
St.
redshirt
Francis,
freshman
and then their
Zach
rivalry
Bonini
game
on
with
to punt.
Wagner,
He's gonna
Central
have to
Connecticut.
back up to
Tough.
his 5-yard line.
Stonehill, Duquesne, and Mercyhurst. 2 of those 3 games at home.
Ross
the only
Jr.
road
and
game
Felix
is
Matos
in
deep, but they're
Pittsburgh,
going to get good field position as
in the
Bonini's gonna
Berg,
have to
on the
punt
bluff,
into
in
the
front of
wind.
the Yinzers against Duquesne.
A line drive.
So Central
Lands at
not
about the
able to sustain a
48-yard
long
line and a
drive
terrific
here.
play.
LIU is going to get a chance. Down 3.
by guess who?
With
Chris
3
Jean.
minutes and change left,
Great tackle.
Chris Jean, that is the second
He just
phenomenal
lined up the
special
punt
teams
returner.
tackle he's
Remember,
gotten
he
in
made
this
that
game.
Play earlier in the
He's not
quarter.
letting these
The
returners
one.
get by them.
Great stop. But look where it is. 30.
I mean, Chris Jean is known for taking the
43
ball
yard
away,
line.
being a
So
pickpocket.
good-
He's
still
the
good
active
field
leader in
position for the
interceptions. He has
Sharks.
4
Down
interceptions just this
3:22
season, 8
left
in
and
his
all 3
22
timeouts.
career games. But not many people talk about his special teams work. 2 great tackles on special
Greenwood
teams.
lines up in the backfield.
Having the LIU get nothing on their
and
return,
they hand it off to
including
Ross Jr.
right there. LIU was already
Back
getting
to the
great
line
field
of
position.
scrimmage
They
he
didn't need
goes
to
as we
add
approach
any
the
more yards on
3-minute
top
mark.
of it.
Malachi
Chris Jean was not
Wright.
going to have any of that.
Comes through slicing.
I have to
through.
think that this is
No
4-down
gain
drive here for LIU.
Now Greenwood departs.
At least until you get into field goal
And
range.
Jaden
Right here in the
Simpson
middle of
comes
the
in for
field, I
him.
think you got to go
Ross
for it on
Jr.
4th
to
down.
the right of Stanzani. Stanzani throws it far side. Passes hauled in.
They've gotten into central territory, under 3 minutes to go.
8-yard gain, and boy, Dozier made the catch, and he let the Blue Devils know about
So a
it.
3rd down and short. So now you have 3rd down and short. I very
Sharks
much
like
think
to,
that if they don't get this, they have to
chirp
go
a
for it
little
on
bit.
4th down.
As far as
They're
LIU
keeping
from Broadway.
their team on the field, no central substitutions.
Third down
They're
run,
running it up the middle on 3rd
and
down. So
first
again,
down
very
after a
much going to go
3-yard
for it on
pickup
4th down if
by
they don't
Ross
get it.
Jr.
But they did get the first down.
20 left here in the 4th quarter.
They got to try and get a playoff before the 2-minute timeout.
Be like a free timeout. They'll get the 2-minute timeout, and then they have 3 more as they at least try to get into field goal range. Although they'd love just to get a touchdown, win the game, and Central doesn't even touch the ball the rest of the way.
Fakes the handoff. And
taking a shot on the far
pass is
sideline.
hauled in. It's caught.
They got it.
And out of
Only
bounds
have to
at
get
the
1 foot down
38-yard
in
line. Gonna
bounds.
Be a little short of the first down.
And a
And that
9-yard
will be
gain to the far
the
sideline.
last play before the 2-minute warning with 1:59 remaining, 2-minute timeout here at a root field.
Stanzani to Dion Richardson for 8 yards, and that gets us to the 2-minute warning, 2-minute timeout in college football.
Wow, I mean, it was on the far side. Looks like
It'll
he
be
had his
2nd and 2 at the 38-yard line, so not quite in field goal range yet.
Did he have
They
control?
probably need to get about another 10,
wait and
15
see.
yards in order to get into field goal range. We just saw their kicker, Will Johnson, miss a field goal on the last series.
Yeah, he didn't catch it until his feet were in the air.
Are they looking at it?
I don't know. No, I don't think so.
Well, the officials are getting together and
They're all
talking about
So
it.
you're saying you saw the you're saying that's incomplete?
I think it's
The announcers think that this
I
is
don't
an
think-
incomplete
I don't think He
pass.
had the ball, and I think both feet were up in the air.
Get another look here at this one.
As you mentioned, there's a huddle going on. 2
At
minutes
least
left.
They
10-7.
would
Blue
need
Devils
to
on
slow
top,
it down in
looking to
order
win,
for us to see
looking to remain
convincingly
undefeated
whether or
in
not
conference play.
his
5-3
feet were
overall,
on the
3-0 in
ground
the
when
NEC.
he caught the football.
LIU, a loss here really. That's it for LIU. Really gives them no
LIU,
chance to win the Northeast Conference.
if they're going to
3
stay in
losses.
as championship
Even 2 is a
contenders, they have to
stretch.
win here today. We've mentioned twice in NEC history has a team won a championship with 2 losses in the loss column. Never has a team won a championship with 3 conference losses. So if
Johnson
LIU
missed
does
a
not win here, this
40-yarder
could be the end of
earlier
their title hopes.
in this quarter to tie the game. LIU with all 3 timeouts. 2nd down and 2. Ross in the backfield. He gets the handoff and bulls his way forward. Depending on the spot.
Central got good penetration
Be
there
short
into the
of a
backfield,
first down, 3rd down,
limiting
and
that to no
about a half a
gain.
yard.
But he was still able to get something, a little something out
Throw
of it.
here and worry about
So now
picking it
3rd
up
down
on
and
4th
short.
down.
I think
After the Ross gain of
the way
1,
Stanzani runs the ball, he's probably
LIU
gonna run
3
it
for
twice.
13 on 3rd downs,
Then
100
you can
seconds
use one of
left.
your timeouts. They hand it off to Ross,
Didn't
and
get it.
he's dropped for a loss.
Didn't get it.
So now do you use the timeout?
Yeah, you
and
got
talk
to.
about it if you're
You got to use a
LIU.
timeout here if
Absolutely.
you're
Ron
LIU.
Cooper
You're
is
not
gonna
in
take
field goal
timeouts.
range. You
That's
can't
his-
go for the
first
field
timeout
goal here, I
called
don't
by
think.
LIU,
So
and it'll be a
they're going to have to
huge
come up
4th
with a
down
4th down
and
play
2
to try to
for the
convert and
Sharks.
extend this
Cliff
drive.
Thompson, big play, middle of that line. Outstanding job.
Game clock operator.
Last year,
Please
Central
reset the
Connecticut
game clock.
lost by
1
3.
minute,
It was on a
27
4th down where
They're gonna put
they
one
needed to
or
get
2 more
4, and they
seconds on the
only got
clock, so
3 yards. They
1:27
turned
left.
it over on downs as they were driving to
Sharks
try
have
and
converted
take
both of their
or
fourth
take the
down
lead, and LIU was able to
tries
hold
this
on. Now the
afternoon, 2 out
role
of
is
2.
reversed. Now it's LIU driving down the field, down 3, needing to convert a 4th
In
down
my
and
book, it
short
does.
in order to extend their drive. Last year, LIU got the stop on Central. Can Central get the stop here on LIU? The game's coming down to this
is it
4th
right
down
here,
when
Mark.
we
4th
resume
down and
play.
2, 10-7. Central Connecticut. I mean, does LIU
Total
dare
yards
put
317
the
to
ball up in the air?
199
They've
in
hooked
favor
up
of
with
Central Connecticut, rushing the
Evan
football.
Brooks a number of times on
About
short
2.5 yards per game
passes.
for
But
LIU. Only 93 rushing yards on the ground. One of the lowest producing rushing games of the season for
Probably the best
LIU.
running
Who can
quarterback
run it with their
in the
quarterbacks
NEC,
and their running backs,
Stanzani
even
in the
sometimes their
backfield
wide
with Ross
receivers.
to
So
his right.
credit the Central rush defense for the job they've done all game. But now can they get a
Simpson
stop
goes
on
in
4th
motion.
and 2?
4th and 2. Stanzani rolls right. He's going to put it up, and it's
Oh,
caught.
they got it. Nice, safe play
believe
call
that
on a
was
4th
Jaden
down
Simpson
situation. Get the snap,
who made the
roll
reception.
out, have a route to the sideline with the
Gutsy
receiver a
call.
step ahead of the defensive
Yeah,
back.
off the
Great,
timeout.
simple
Oh,
play
it's
call.
the threat
Gets
of him
the job
running.
done.
Yeah.
Right, which opened it up.
So now
Stanzani in the
LIU
shotgun.
can drive right
Looking
here
right,
and
now
get within,
middle,
get inside
under
field goal range,
pressure.
but not if Stanzani gets sacked back at midfield. He has to
And
get that
throws it up,
pass off.
intended in the direction
Woo!
of Jerron Kelly.
Doug
That could have been
Flutie
ball
asked
game
him
right
a
there if he
little
goes
bit,
down
huh?
at midfield
Kelly
with
at
another
6'7".
sack. Stanzani
But-
running for his life right there.
That one way out of his reach. Yeah, nice job. Or Fran Tarkington.
Yep, another one.
2nd and 10, 2 timeouts, ball on the 33, 10-7 Blue Devils,
Stanzani
112 left.
111
Ball on the
passing
34.
yards here today.
Stanzani puts it up again. And this one's
Plants,
broken up
fires,
by Braden Hall.
incomplete.
Great coverage.
That's going to bring up another 3rd down with just about a minute left to go.
Hall reached
Looking
in.
around our
It's a
out-of-town
3rd down, but
scores,
undoubtedly
Sacred
4 down
Heart leads
territory
New
here
Haven
for
27
the Sharks
to
with
10 in the
107
fourth
remaining.
quarter.
Be about a 50-yard
St. Francis
field goal
leads
attempt
Wagner
if they decide to
17 to
try it from this
13
spot.
with
Career
9 minutes
long
to play in
for
the fourth
Johnson
quarter, and at
is
halftime,
42.
Stonehill
And he just
leads
missed the
Robert
40-yarder.
Morris 17 to 10.
Crowd making noise
Skyhawks
below
looking
us
to
here
keep themselves
at a root
with
field.
only one loss
With
in the
107
loss
remaining,
column in
3rd
the
down
NEC.
and 10.
Tie
Trips
themselves
to the
with
left.
Duquesne and Mercyhurst both on buys this week. Duquesne would be the
Stanzani
beneficiary if
gonna
LIU
take
could
off.
pull out the upset here.
Quarterback
Stanzani
draw,
slips
and
a
it works for a
tackle.
first
Oh,
down.
Lucas Stanzani, ever
Jack
elusive.
Stahl brought him down,
That's a
but
huge
not after
tackle.
before a 14-yard gain.
Yeah,
14-yard
Stoll
pickup.
again,
At this
Stoll
point in the
making a
game with
big-time
Stanzani
tackle,
in there,
just,
if you're the defense, you're thinking
keep it out of
pass
the end zone.
because
He
it would be
would've taken it
Greenwood
in.
there. You would think if he's going to go off for the
Under a minute
quarterback's going to
left,
scramble
52
for a big
seconds.
run. But that
Stanzani
time it
looking
was
in the end
Stanzani
zone.
floats it to the end zone.
Incomplete. Braden Hall
And
on the
incomplete.
coverage. Intended for Jerron Kelly.
That central cameraman
Braden
has
Hall's
to
given
swing
away
that camera over a little
8
bit quicker
inches
there. We need
on
to
that
see.
matchup.
It's kind of an important stage of the
at
game.
least.
We kind of
He
need to
had the
swing that
matchup
camera
they
over to the
wanted.
corner and see what's going on there.
Kelly goes 6'7".
Under a minute
Hall
to go.
listed at 5'10".
Second down.
And there was a lot of contact as well, Mark.
Central Connecticut trying to hang on.
After the incomplete
By
pass,
the way, for
49 seconds
CCSU,
left.
this is their lowest scoring game
From
of the
the
season.
20.
Win or loss.
Stanzani has time over the
Stanzani,
middle,
a bullet
but
over the
inside
middle.
the 5-yard line.
Wow, down to the 5-yard line. Central
Chris Jean
scored 13
made the
points in a
tackle
loss
on
to
Jaden
UConn on
Simpson,
opening day.
but
They've been
LIU
over
now
13 points
inside
every
the
single game in the
5-yard
season.
line
Today they just have 10
43
points on the
seconds
board.
left.
They hope
And they
it's
wind the
enough,
clock back
but
up. Do
LIU
the Blue
looking to
Devils
snatch
think
this one
about
away. Another
using a timeout
fourth
here,
quarter, final minute, frantic finish for Central Connecticut State. How many games have ended up like this? Down to the final minute.
One play
Under
and then the
30
field goal
seconds to go.
Unless it's
I would be
incomplete.
shocked. Why
Well,
wouldn't you try to win the game here if
yeah.
you're LIU?
Well, because they're not calling timeout.
Greenwood at a quarterback. Instead, it's Stanzani who's tripped up.
Stanzani
the
and
1 yard
Greenwood
line.
were
And now
kind of
LIU, you
right
would
next
think
to
use
each
the
other there,
timeout. Yes,
moving
with
to the
12
left
seconds
side.
left.
They were kind of in
They're
each
gonna mark
other's
that ball at the
space, and
1
that
yard
allowed
line
the
now.
defenders
So
to
they're
kind
gonna
of
try one more play, and
close
then
in
they'll
on
have to
both
kick.
guys and make the tackle. So the fact that the two
Well,
quarterbacks were operating in the same space, I
time
think,
for a couple plays, right?
ended
You
up
got
being a
12
negative
seconds left.
for
You can
LIU
throw the
right
ball
there. It
here
allowed
if
the
you want.
defense
One
to
timeout left.
close in on them regardless of who had the football.
Well, you throw it in the end zone or it's an incomplete pass.
Right.
So we're
You
down
can do
to
that. You can do
12
that
seconds,
twice.
it looks like, on the clock.
And then you could try to run the ball, and then if you don't make it, you call timeout.
Right.
And it would be
But if you're
second
running
and
on
goal.
The first play, then you got to call timeout if you don't make it, because then the clock would. So it's going to be a pass on this play. You got to guarantee that, right? Or he may
Not
scramble.
necessarily,
He
yeah,
may scramble in, but
All right, so 12 seconds.
You roll them out.
Second down and goal.
but I think it's
LIU already in field goal range. That's for sure. They're right there on the doorstep, but they're right
And one
4
timeout
yards
remaining
away from
for
potentially winning
LIU
and
two
pulling
for
it
the
out
Blue Devils. Ball
again
on the 1 yard line.
against Central Connecticut State.
10-7 Blue Devils lead. Stanzani in the shotgun, but the Blue Devils are going to use a timeout
Whistle.
right there.
Oh, so now we're going timeout for timeout.
LIU was lined up.
Little game of chess here between the two head
They
coaches.
had Greenwood and Stanzani in the game.
Central trying to go to 4-0 for the first time since
So Central used the
2019.
timeout there, and why
LIU
not,
trying
right?
to win
I
their
mean,
third in a
at that
row,
point.
and even their conference record at 2 wins and 2 losses. That's how big this game is. If Central
smell
can
the
hold
wood
on, they
burning
stay
right
ahead
now.
of both
Your thoughts.
Duquesne and Stonehill.
lot of cobwebs up
Right
there
now, Stonehill has one
with that
conference
wood.
loss, and they're ahead against Robert Morris by a touchdown.
What?
I mean,
Central
I was
trying to
just
keep
thinking
that
back-
lead as we go into the
not
final
now,
3
but
games of the
back when
season.
they were 20,
Central plays
30
Stonehill
seconds
next
to go.
week. That is our
Ball was first at the
ESPN
4,
Plus game,
first
so
down.
make sure you check that out.
Even
Then
let 'em in.
they play Duquesne the following week, which
Try to have
potentially
a little
could be another ESPN Plus game. We have a wild card game
Defensive
that
coordinator
week,
for
which
the Blue
Central
Devils,
Duquesne
Ron
could be it.
DeGravio.
And then Central plays Mercyhurst the final game of the
break the
season.
huddle?
So the next 3 weeks are all big weeks for Central, but they got to survive
Here we go again.
the next yard,
12
2
seconds
yards, and the next 12 seconds here.
3-point Blue
Second
Devil
and goal.
lead. Second down and goal from the 1. Central trying to hang on and go 4-0 in the NEC. Stanzani alone in the backfield.
Could be a designated quarterback run here.
Takes the snap.
Or a
He
rollout.
pitches it.
Oh, they're getting
to
tricky.
Greenwood,
They're going to
who's
throw
gonna
it.
Throw it. And it's incomplete.
Central had that one
They
well
tried a little
defended.
Trickery.
LIU,
One quarterback to the other.
Old school LIU going into
And that
that
ball may have
playbook.
been deflected,
Stanzani
and now
all
on
alone. You're
third
thinking, oh, it's going to be
down,
a
I
quarterback
think you
run, and
gotta
it started like that.
I
Rolling
know
out
they're
to the
shot
right,
in
but
seconds.
Greenwood
I'm
coming
shocked
around
they
from
didn't
the
try to
right
pull it
side.
in. I
I
mean,
know
he
there's
could
7
throw it
seconds,
too.
but
You know, look, I know
One more play.
Howell isn't
they
the
do
best
have the timeout.
out of the 3 throwing the football, but if you're going to run a play to that side,
be a run.
why not have the left-handed quarterback?
Now it's
Because
gonna
then it would
be
be
run.
throwing
I knew it was
towards
past that
the
play.
left with the
It'll be run up
left-handed
the middle.
quarterback.
They're
Maybe
gonna
they
call
could have
timeout.
gotten off a better
They need
throw
to.
than Greenwood
Brooks and
throwing
Richardson
across
at
his
the bottom
body
of
with the
screen.
defender
That's
on him.
Greenwood,
But
the quarterback, and
here we
Central's
go.
going to use their final timeout.
Third
with
down and
7
goal,
seconds left.
7 seconds left.
Their third and final timeout of the game.
Central out of
I
timeouts.
mean, I suppose you can throw. You have a timeout to go, but
Now LIU really making Central think.
I smell a run.
Yeah, I was.
Up the middle. So
Yeah, LIU still does have
And,
a timeout,
get
so they
in,
can
great.
run the football, and even if
Win,
they
and
don't
if
get
they
it, they could
don't-
call the
I think
timeout and
that was
still have
Chris
an
Jean on the
opportunity
coverage, too. If
for
he
a field
turned
goal,
around
or
a
maybe,
little
who knows, maybe
earlier,
they decide to
he
go
might
for
have
the
had a
win
shot
if they have like 2
and an
seconds left,
interception.
and 4th and
But
goal
you
at
got
the
these
1.
really big receivers here.
And wouldn't put
for,
it past them.
You know,
Well,
Brooks is-
the razzle dazzle.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, so
Kelly's
next week,
6'7",
week 11
Dozier's
of
6'5".
NEC football.
I don't
Yeah.
see why you do
Duquesne will be
all of
back.
that.
They'll be playing LIU.
it's
Stonehill
the-
will be
you know, the
at a root
closest
field playing Central Connecticut.
play is a
Mercyhurst will be
direct,
back. They'll be
you know,
playing
the
St.
way to get
Francis,
in
and
the end zone
Wagner
is on a direct
will be
line,
at
and you're doing
Robert
all of
Morris.
this.
And also
burned 5
Merrimack will be
seconds off
playing
the
New
clock
Haven.
also.
So there'll be
Yeah.
5 conference games next week. But will Central
Let your quarterback
be playing
throw.
next week still unbeaten in
like,
conference play?
again,
That could
with
come
the way
down
they
to the
run
next
the
7
ball,
seconds and the next
with
1 or
Ross and
2
Stanzani
plays.
and Greenwood.
I think
I'm
it's-
shocked they didn't run it
Yes,
earlier.
and I think
All
they
right,
will.
so we got
And they
Stanzani.
got 2 backs.
We
Yes.
got 2 guys lined up
Tight
next to
end.
him, 1 on each side.
That's number 42,
Here we go.
Keith Bork in the the
Third
game.
and goal.
Stanzani's going to throw
Stanzani.
it. And it's tipped
over the
by
middle,
Gene
well
and incomplete.
defended. And that's Gene.
It doesn't matter really if there's pass interference.
Mean, woo!
And you
Chris
would,
Gene.
I guess
How
they're going to
about
try
that?
to tie it. But how about having
knocked that
the
one
ball
down
on the 1 yard line with the way
and they
you
were
run
going
the
for
ball.
the big guy.
Yeah,
The
and
6'7" Jerron Kelly. Why not throw it to your 6'7" tight end? That makes all the sense in the world. But Chris Gene read that one perfectly,
Will
knocked
Johnson,
it away, and
with
now
the miss
4th and
earlier
goal.
here in the
He
quarter,
already missed the
40
field
yarders,
goal,
now
did
5
Johnson,
for
but
8
this is a chip shot. If he makes
the
this,
year.
we go to overtime, tied at 10, and you get bonus
for the
watch along.
tie.
How about that? For the tie.
Kick is blocked.
It's blocked.
It is blocked
It's
by the Blue
blocked.
Devils.
What a finish!
Are
Central
you kidding
pulls
me?
one out of the
And they
hat
storm
again.
a root
Wow!
field.
Oh,
A little chip shot.
wow! This is like Eagles
And the
Rams.
Blue Devils rejected.
That's special Blue Devils special teams. Blocked
That
field
is
goal
just
on
wild.
the final play of the game. A wild finish keeps
You go from
the
thinking
Blue Devils
you're gonna lose this
unbeaten
game, Mark,
in NEC
when
play.
the ball's on the 1 yard line.
Oh
I'm
my
not sure
gosh.
who blocked it.
Who came through? Somebody from that left side. Was that Stiles?
Wow.
It might have been Stiles Mitchell from the left of the defensive formation. Look at it again. We'll set it up for you.
Yeah, we have to
a few
see that
times.
again to see who got it. But
That was just
Here
right
we
now
go.
they're saying Stoll was the one who blocked it.
Boy, and there's a lot
And
of
the
chirping.
inside guy. The inside guy, was that Jack Stoll?
Was it number one? Yeah,
Jack
number one's
Stoll.
rolling out there. He's running to his
Incredible.
sideline
And the
with this in
coaches
the air,
from
so it
both
very
teams are
well may
trying
have
to
been
get
their
the
leading
players off the
tackler.
field because
Stoll who got
there
a
was
piece
chirping
of that.
as we talked about it during
What a
pregame.
finish
There's a
in
lot
New
of chirping
Britain,
going on
Connecticut,
now. Now they
as
separate.
the Blue Devils
But
pull another one-score game out of a hat. Twice
That
they had
was
to go to
indeed Jack
overtime.
Stahl
Sacred Heart and then
with
Wagner.
the rejection,
They take a week
and the
off,
Blue
they
Devils
come back,
go
it goes
from,
down to the
LIU
final
goes
minute
from,
again.
the jaws
And
of
their
victory to the
defense,
jaws of defeat.
their
The
defense
Sharks.
holds LIU
Unreal.
twice at the 1 yard line, 2 plays, and then
question
fourth down
the
with
play
just
calling
seconds left,
on
a
second and
blocked
third
field
down.
goal. We don't even need overtime
I'm
this
just
time.
shocked they didn't run the ball.
They
the
win
way
it
they run the ball.
10-7.
Like you said, they probably outsmarted themselves.
Wow.
And they tried the trickery. They just
You can make a case for
outthought it.
LIU
outthought
that they
the
kind of out-tricked
situation.
themselves.
We'll take a breath and
I
wrap
will-
it up from a root field.
I will go
in a
with that as
wild
well.
one.
They had the
10-7,
opportunity
the Blue Devils
first with
prevail.
that
Blue Devils
pass
football on NEC
with
front
Greenwood
row
coming
and the
around
on-the-run
when they very much could have run it there. Or they could have, again, maybe had Howell, the left-handed quarterback, go for it because the play was run to the left side. And then they tried that little
Again,
jump
everybody,
pass
I'm
up
Paul
the middle to
Dottino
their
with the
6'7"
NEC notebook
tight
delivered
end.
to you
So
by
they tried to
WB Mason.
pass it
LIU
twice from the
quarterback
1
Lucas
yard
Stanzatti
line.
accounted
Didn't
for
work
5
out on either
touchdowns as the
try. They
NEC
still had that
offensive
4th down to
player
go
of
for
the
the
week.
field
He
goal.
ripped New
They
Haven
thought
for
that they
98
had
yards
that
and
one in the
4
bag,
touchdowns,
and then
threw
they
for
were
152
blocked,
yards and another
denied
score.
right there.
Teammate
They had
Trey
missed the
Watkins is
field
the
goal
defensive
earlier in
player
the
of the
quarter
week.
that would have
He
tied it.
contributed 5
Now they had
tackles
another
for the forced
chance.
fumble
It
and
was
an
blocked by
interception,
Stahl
both
at
of
the
which
end of
led
the
to Sharks
game, and
touchdowns.
Central
It's an
holds
LIU
on.
triple
What
with
an
Jaden
incredible
Simpson as
finish
the rookie of the week.
for this Central
Four
Connecticut
passes for
State
42
team,
yards,
the reigning
including a
and
33-yard
defending
score.
champions,
Special
moved
teams
to
honors go to
4-0 in
Stone Hill's
conference
Dominic
play for the
Scalise.
first
He
time
drilled
since
all 3 of
they
his
went
field goals to
7-0
stop Mercy
in
Hurst.
2019.
We're back on
And
Yes
for
Network,
LIU,
SN and ESPN
they've fallen
Plus
out to
on
1-3
Saturday,
in
November
conference
8th with
play,
Stone Hill
and their
Central
title
Connecticut
hopes
State.
have
Kickoff
been
is at
pretty
noon.
much extinguished
Remember,
here
all
with that
conference
third
games are streamed live and
conference
free
loss.
on NECfrontrow.com.
Absolutely incredible. Let's
Follow
go over
NEC
some of
News
the
on
final
social
numbers
media
here before
at
we
NEC Sports and on the
wrap
web at
things up.
NECsports.com.
Central Connecticut, 7 for 15 on third down. LIU 4 for 16, but they did go 3 for 3 on
in a
fourth
game,
down
Mark, that
conversions.
didn't have a
Total
lot of
yards
offense.
317 to
It was
236 in
sloppy
favor of
at
Central
the beginning,
Connecticut.
a little chippy,
Rushing the
some
football,
penalties.
something
Even
that
the first
LIU
three but the
usually
fourth quarter,
is able
a
to control when
wild
things
one.
are going well for
And
them.
the Blue Devils,
117 to
on a
109 in
blocked
favor
field
of Central
goal attempt from
Connecticut.
what was that?
The Blue Devils were the
18
only team that
yards?
turned the
Yeah.
football over in this game. They had one interception.
Jack Saul comes knifing
Penalties,
in,
7
gets the
for LIU, but none
big
in the
right
second
hand
half.
up and blocks
They must
the
have gotten a
field goal.
talking to at halftime
And the Blue
because they
Devils
didn't have any
hang on
penalties in the second
and
half.
go to 4-0
Time of possession
in
with that
conference
last
play
drive,
and
LIU
win
actually
their fourth
overtook
game in a row,
Central
defeating
Connecticut
the
in time
LIU
of possession.
Sharks.
30-17 to
10-7.
29-43. Individually, Brady Olson, 16 for 29, 200 yards, a touchdown and a pick. Howard,
Blue
57
Devils,
yards rushing.
and you gotta
Donovan
say
Wadley,
survive. The
60
long
yards
drives,
receiving on 2 catches,
by
including the
LIU,
50-plus yard
nearly
touchdown that eventually ended
grabbed
up
this
being the
game from the
game-winning
Devils, who
touchdown for Central
defensively
Connecticut
controlled
State.
everything
And then on the other
in
side for
three
LIU,
quarters,
Stanzani,
basically,
21 for
and then
33 passing,
I understand trying to
127
run as
yards
many
and a
plays as
touchdown.
you can.
Ross,
Try to get a touchdown,
58
but
carries,
the strength
58
of your team.
yards on
Yeah, the
19
strength of your team
carries.
is running the
Stanzani,
football,
27
right?
yards
With
rushing.
Ross and Stanzani and Greenwood, and then
Yeah,
you try
it
that
was
reversed.
It was quite a game. Certainly an incredible finish. Makes us want to come back and do these streams again and watch another one, especially here as the championship race in the NEC starts to heat up. So this keeps CCSU atop the pack. The rest of the NEC 4-0 drops LIU to 1-3. You got
at the 1 or 2
Sacred
yard line.
on top of New Haven by 15 right now in the fourth quarter. Wagner has overtaken St. Francis in the fourth quarter, 20-17, and Stonehill leads by a touchdown. They're trying to stay with one loss. Stonehill gets Central next. What a matchup that's going to be. An unbeaten team versus a one-loss conference team. That'll be on ESPN Plus next week with a noon kickoff. Duquesne, they get LIU. And LIU probably is not going to be happy by the way this one ended. Duquesne not going to be happy with the way they played last week. You're going to have two ticked-off teams going head-to-head next week at noon. Mercier, St. Francis, Wagner, Robert Morris, and Merrimack, New Haven. That is your Week 11 slate next Saturday, but how could they possibly top this? What a game, and we thank everyone for joining us here today for this NEC Football on the Run watch-along here on YouTube. Be sure to check out our NEC Football on the Run podcast on the NEC Overtime Pod. It will be available Friday wherever you get your podcast. We will certainly have plenty to talk about. I'm Craig D'Amico. Thanks everybody for checking in and joining us. Enjoy the rest of your NEC Football Saturday.
Football broadcast here November 22nd on NEC Front Row. But